Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, NE10 hockey, NCAA Division II hockey, as this afternoon the Post-University Eagles play their final regular season home game as they'll host the Hawks from St. A's. Pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff Nelson. The Coach P. Whitney will join us in just a moment. Boy, have things changed in the last 3 weeks for the Eagles. They were down and out, for lack of a better term, and we were wondering where this season was going to end up, but a 4-1-1 stretch over the last 6 games has not only carried them out of last place, they've moved them into 4th place with total control in their hands as to where they finish up the regular season, 4th or 5th. What we do know is on Tuesday, the Eagles will play Franklin Pierce in the first round of the NE10 playoffs. What we don't know is where that game will be. The Eagles control their destiny. 2 wins this weekend, or basically get more points than Franklin Pierce. And that game will be here Tuesday with a time to be determined. And Coach, as we bring you in, it's been the little things more so than anything else with the Eagles. Is they're still struggling to score, though they did score 8 goals in 2 games last weekend. But it seems like everybody's working toward the same goal, really, for the first time in these last 6 games. All 21 skaters in the same vein.
Yeah, they're playing as a group much better. And it's funny, we were joking about the 3 stars in the last game, but the reality was there was such a team effort, like you mentioned.
I picked 3, you picked 3.
Yeah, anybody they picked, and you probably could have picked another couple in there, just the way everybody played. And that's the difference over this 6 games. It's slowly they've gotten to recreate that form. It's one thing to play that way once, twice, but now that they're beginning to do it consistently, and this is a great time to be playing your best hockey, obviously, at the end of the season. So there's a bunch to play for. It's been 4 years since there was a playoff home game, and it's right there. So I'm really excited to see what they can do, what they can bring. And this is a St. A's, again, you'll go over the scenarios, but they're playing for something pretty special too. So it's should be a fun weekend.
Eagles with 13 points out of available 18 in the last 6 games. Again, 4-1-1. Overall, they're 7-17-1 on the season, 6-11-1 in the NE10, 22 points. That's 1 point ahead of Franklin Pierce, who has been in free fall in the month of January and February. Eagles currently in 4th place, again with a 1-point lead over Franklin Pierce. They can clinch the 4 seed with a win and a Franklin Pierce loss this evening. So while we won't be back on Saturday, you can check the schedule, and hopefully we'll be promoting the heck out of the fact there'll be a home game here on Tuesday, but the Eagles need to take care of business first. And that involves the St. Anselm Hawks, who've made the 4-hour bus ride south to get here through snow, ice, and rain, mind you. 11-12-4 on the season, 10-6-2 in the NE10, 31 points. They're tied for second right now with St. Mike's. St. Michael's, though, those hold all the tiebreakers. So the challenge for St. A's is to gather more points this weekend in the 2 games than St. Mike's does. If they are tied, St. Mike's will have the 2 seed. St. A's will have the 3 seed. And the key to that, for those of you who may not be all up into the playoff structure, is if you're a 3 seed, you're playing the game Tuesday. You're hosting it. Either St. Mike's or St. A's is hosting that game against Southern New Hampshire on Tuesday afternoon or evening. But you got to play an extra game to get to the semifinals.
Right.
So you want to play your heart out to get to that 2 seed, Coach. You know that as well as anybody. But St. A's comes in off a win against the conference regular season champion Assumption, and they know that they don't want to play their crosstown rivals, as they will, in Southern New Hampshire in the first round if they can avoid it.
Yeah. I think that, again, the difference today is going to be who's going to rise up for the Eagles and put some pucks in the net. Maybe someone that has got 3-4 goals on the season, someone that can step up and put some pucks in the net, because that's the tool, that's the weapon that St. Anselm's has. They have several guys who can score goals. So it's hard. They have certain couple players that are above the others, but it's hard to key on somebody when they have so many tools, so many weapons, so many players that can score, whereas Post does not quite have the depth at scoring that St. A's does. So we'll see how this all pans out. It should be a good afternoon.
In the 4 wins the Eagles have in these last 6 games, they've given up a total of 2 goals as well. So defensively across the board, and Ben actually winning 2 games while giving up a goal in both games. Also something we hadn't seen this season as the teams take the ice For the in-house announcements of the starting lineups and the national anthem, we'll bring you the starting lineups, which are brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are on your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all the Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or to apply, because it is the application season, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the visitors from St. A's, a bit of a surprise in goal. It's going to be P.J. Benitez, the junior out of Tyngsboro, Massachusetts. He's 1-1 on the season with a 2.75 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. He is a junior, 5'11". His defensive combination is Hunter Hoffman, 6-foot sophomore out of Stevensville, Maryland, and Alec O'Connor, 6'1" freshman out of Winchester, Massachusetts. The forwards on left wing, that top line, Garrett Aliberti. He's a senior out of Wilmington, Mass, 6'2". Cam Collins, a 5'11" senior out of Raynham, Mass. He's got 29 points on the season and leads the team in points. And Luke Leinert on right wing, senior out of Holland, Michigan, a friend of Tommy Bice, if we remember. 12 goals, 14 assists, and 26 points for Luke. He's the team's leading scorer. That's your left-to-right combo on offense. Head coach is Larry Roca. Assistant coach is John Herrick. For your Eagles, well, you know, if I have to tell you in goal, you haven't been listening very hard. It's going to be Ben Cunine, a senior out of Pembroke Pine, Florida, 5'10", 165. He's 7-12-1 on the season, 2.29 goals against average, and a .930 save percentage. He also has 5 shutouts, which ties the all-time conference record. The defensive combination is Tanner Glassard, the captain, 6'7", 225, a senior out of Delano, Minnesota, and Matt Pacheco, 5'8", 175, sophomore out of Belchertown, Massachusetts. The forwards, left to right, Baxter Kimball, 5'10", 177 out of Elliott, Maine. He is a senior. Connor Murray, a senior, 5'10", 165 out of Bedford, New Hampshire. And Bradley McMains, who had a goal and an assist on Saturday, the sophomore out of South Portland, Maine, 5'10", 161. Head coach in season 4 is Tim Richter, assistant coach Andy DeAngelis. As crowd starts to file in on a Friday afternoon, should be a good one here. The Eagles soaring a little bit right at the right time. Again, 4-1-1 in the last 6. And St. A's coming off a win on Saturday against Assumption. They're 4-1 in their last 5 and have climbed their way into a tie for second place. Again, Eagles are in the 4-5 game. They're going to play Franklin Pierce no matter what. Just depends on where that game is going to be. St. A's and St. Mike's battling it out for the 2 and the 3 seed. The 2 seed gets a bye. The 3 seed will play Southern New Hampshire at their home, at St. A's or St. Mike's home rink on Tuesday in the first round of the NE10 playoffs. Last year of the NE10 playoffs being 6 teams. We don't know what the playoff format will be next year, but team number 7, AIC, joins the league next season. And this will be a 7-team league starting next year. Now we will pause as we get ready for the playing of our national anthem. our national anthem here on a Friday afternoon in the home of hockey, the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut. Wherever you are, it's a Hockey Friday in your life. USA leads Slovakia 2-0 after the first period in the Olympics, with a potential matchup with Canada upcoming on Sunday. So keep that game on with the sound down. Keep this game on with the sound up.
There you go.
NE10 conference battle here this afternoon. One last ride for all the seniors here in the regular season home finale. They hope to get a playoff game here on Tuesday with a couple of wins this weekend, or a combination where they have one more point than Franklin Pierce. But it all starts here. A win today, a Franklin Pierce loss, they can clinch that 4C game in a home game Tuesday, where Coach and I will be standing here again doing a play-by-play for you. But otherwise, right now, we start with the first game of a two-game set, home and home against St. A's. Eagles will play at 4 o'clock tomorrow at St. A's. The Eagles in their home whites going right to left. St. A's in the dark blue and gray going left to right. Puck is dropped. We thank you for joining us wherever you are around the world on the Sports University Sports Network, as the puck is rimmed around the wall from far to near, played back at the point, then rimmed back around by O'Connor. First one after is Pacheco. He'll slide it up the wall. This will go all the way down the ice and should be an icing. As O'Connor gets there, doesn't touch it, but gets across the dots to create that face-off deep inside the Eagles zone with 19 seconds gone and no score.
Yeah, I think when he sent that puck up the wall, he was expecting a winger to cut across to that. So I guess we'll have to get on that page.
Connor wins that draw clean. Back to the point. Shot toward the net by O'Connor. Looking for a deflection. Goes wide. Glassroot pitches it up the wall. Kept in nicely at left point by King. Eagles still chopping at it. King holding the line. Finally taken out of the zone by McMains. McMains gets it across to Kimball, who has 5 goals, 7 assists on the season. He'll rim it in, and the Eagles go off for a line change there first, 40 seconds into the game. Swain picks it up in his own zone, comes over here for Aiden Kennedy, the team's leading point getter with 16 points. He gives it to Owen Rieger. Rieger brings it in, goes down to a knee, turns it over inside the Hawks zone, and back the Hawks come the other way. Over the line is Tremblay. Tremblay goes on left wing, leaves it for King. King takes a shot. Ben's first save of the game there, a minute in. And he kicks the rebound out, and here comes Swain. Swain loses the puck at center. He'll dump it in. The Eagle forwards will go off on a line change, so will the D behind him, as King pinches it up the wall to a streaking Sean Connolly, but Connolly turned the puck over, but back the other way comes Kelly. Kelly goes across the ice looking for Manning. Manning fights in there with O'Connell. Now 4-player scrum in the corner, and a quick centering pass across by Connor Kelly. Goes back to the D of King. He takes a shot right on, stopped by Kunin. Played into the corner, then off the netting by O'Connell. And out of play. We've got a Kelly, we've got an O'Connor, we've got an O'Connell. So that'll be fun as the game moves on.
A lot of OCs. A lot of OCs.
A Connolly, a Connor, a Kelly. Good mix of people here. Good thing I worked on my enunciations over the weekend.
Yes.
Face off won by the Hawks, dumped into the Eagles' zone. Hope goes quickly D to D as the Eagles try to get it out. Howell finds Atkinson, who tries to chip it up to Pekka, but a good job getting back to stick it away. It was Connolly, but didn't get it out. Atkinson helping out on the forecheck, gets it behind the net. He's watched there by Connolly. He tries to spin with it. Now 4 players behind the net. Connolly comes away with it. Connolly forcing his way up dangerously up the middle, nearly turned it over as an Eagle player went on a flyby, but back comes Nolan Davis with a shot that's swallowed whole by Kunin at the top of the right crease. And now some pushing and shoving. An oddity in the schedule this year, as the Eagles are playing St. A's 3 times on the road, only once here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The last 2 games, the Eagles were 0-1-1 up at St. A's earlier this year. The Hawks were 2-0, but they'll play a 3rd game at St. A's tomorrow, and then next season the Eagles will host 3 games, and St. A's will have 1 home game, in this series. Never really got a great answer as to why that was, but irrelevant at this point. Puck behind the net, nice check by Pacheco. He gets it to Glassroot, who feeds it up to Norling. Norling gets the center with speed, but then turns it over as he tried to dump it in, but he never crossed the red line, and back comes St. A's the other way quickly. Over the line is Cordero. He turns it over to the right at the blue line, but then leaves it. Walking in for a shot that gets ramped up the stick of Glassroot, who got in the way, was Alec O'Connor, who picked up that loose puck, cruised in on the left side, but the 6'7" captain Tanner Glassrue got his stick on it and deflected into the crowd behind Ben Kunin.
Yeah, it was a great play by Glassrue there, because that puck on that St. A's player's stick, he had nothing but open ice and he could pick his spot. So great job by Tanner.
Aliberti on the draw with Murray. Aliberti wins it clean. That's 4 in a row for the Hawks. And then a shot from the point goes around and wide. Picked up by Kimball. A nice feed pass ahead to McMains. McMains, a goal and an assist on Saturday. Brings it in over the line. Gets nicely checked, and the puck turned over and brought back the other way come the Hawks. Over the line with speed, Leinert. Leinert looking for Aliberti. He tried to stick it in towards Kunin, who got a stick on it, poked it into the corner. Now Murray right up the middle with it high in the air, gets it out as the defense of the Hawks changes behind the play, and Martinetti goes D to D. Gets to Aliberti, who dumps it in, chasing after it is Leinert, the team's leading goal scorer with 12. But Eagles do a good job defensively, as Rieger will play it behind his own net and give it to Kennedy. Kennedy carries. Long pass ahead to Kimball, rolled off his stick onto the defense of the Hawks, and Nolan King behind his own net, the freshman out of East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Tried to make a pass, ends up on the stick of Michael Martinetti, the senior out of Winchester, Massachusetts. He'll play behind his own net while being forechecked by Scotty Swain. Again, the D just playing a bit of catch right now, and good job forechecking by Scotty Swain, as Martinetti will go behind his own net and use it as a blocker, a pick rather. And then he turns it over at center, and here's O'Connell. O'Connell in over the line with room, and a shot, and a left pad save by Benitez, his first save of the game. Good shot on the good rush by O'Connell. Now Gazzardi leaves it in the corner for Santoro. 4-man forecheck in that corner, chipped it up the wall, and it gets past the defense, and racing after it is Justin Tremblay, but the Eagle defense gets back to take away that opportunity. Then they turn it over, and a shot that's stopped right on by Kunin, as Connor Kelly found a loose puck in the zone. He took a quick little wrist shot from the top of the far circle. At Quinine, solid hold, 4:26 into period one, still no score.
Yeah, St. Anselm's doing a good job right now on their playmaking up high. They're making their plays up high and shooting from above the tops of the circles.
Brendan Manning, the sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona. First face-off loss for the Hawks, but they maintain possession inside the Eagles zone. Pacheco trying to get it out, but a good pickup here by Tremblay. He turned the puck over, though, and Pacheco gets it out quickly to Howell over to Pekka. Pekka up on left wing. He's in over the line, gives to Howell. Howell closing in, bottom of the circle, centered it in front, but it went off a leg and didn't get near Benitez. And the Hawks able to recover and send a long pass out the center. The Hawks look like they're trying to fly a guy out every time they touch the puck, and they call an icing there. And the St. A's coaching staff not happy about that one. I think they thought that could have been played. 4:54 into period one.
Yeah, right now, again, St. Anselm's, they're a quick team. They're very quick on their transition, right? And they also have skills. They're patient. We saw that one time where Post had them hemmed in, and they moved to good spots and moved the puck around. So they're playing with quite a bit of poise right now.
Howell tries to go forward with it. Wasn't able to get possession, but Atkinson in there to help out. Goes behind the Howell, tried to center in front to Pekka. The puck popped in the air. Glove down momentarily by Manning, but he can't get it out. Eagles still fighting for it, and it's finally turned over and brought out the center, and in over the line is Tremblay. Tremblay tries to make a move, but stick checked nicely by the back-checking Kennedy and Pekka, and sends it into the corner to Demarinis.
Very close to the Hillary Knight move.
Tried.
Tried.
Excellent goal, if you haven't seen that one. Both goals in the women's gold medal game were an excellent watch by the U.S. Great game all around on that one. And a pleasure to watch in the women's hockey world. Macau tries to get it out, but a good stick check to keep it in by Demarinis. He'll try to feed a pass in, but the Eagles can't get it out. It's still played inside the zone. Macau will now take an opportunity to get it to Norling. Will just chip it out, and the Eagles struggling early on to get the puck out of their own zone. St. A's putting on a big wave of pressure early on, but then they turn it over. Norling tried to get it in front to Macau as he found a loose puck behind the net, but Macau couldn't play it. And now back the other way comes Davis. Davis in over the line, looking to center. Said he'll give it to Demarinis, who centers it across. Coming in off the bench is King. King takes a shot, power patted away by Kunin, kicked all the way out into the Hawks zone. That allows the Eagles to change. But the Eagles early on have to do a better job in their own zone, as Ben stopped 5 or 6 shots early on in this game. Shots on goal are 6-1 St. A's. Nice pass to McMains up on left wing. He's got speed, looking to go backhand. He does go backhand, makes Benitez make the save. Good job on the rush by McMains. Had an angle cut off, but went back in anyway. Now here comes the other way with Martinetti. Martinetti takes a shot toward the net. Deflects wide. Glasser gets that 6-7 frame in there to chip it away, but played in the corner by Cordero. Cordero lost it to Glassroot over to Pacheco on the far side. Pacheco goes across the ice looking for a streaking Murray, but a little bit too far. And back comes St. A's the other way, but a nice step up by Glassroot to keep the puck going forward and allow everybody to change. 7 minutes gone in period one. No score, and Nolan King behind his own net, the 6-foot freshman out of East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Comes out the far side. Scotty Swain forechecking down low, forces him to make a pass to Martinetti. Martinetti feeds it up the wall looking for John Myers, but he'll turn it over, and Aiden Kennedy makes a dangerous pass in the middle and stolen away by Aliberti. Aliberti dumps it in. He'll go in on the forecheck. Nice little chip pass, though, to Rieger. And out come the Eagles the other way. Here's Gazzardi on a three-man wave. He'll dump it in and chase after it. Gazzardi goes in there. He wins the race for it. Goes behind the net with Santoro. Fight for it on the far side corner. Gazzardi rims it around to Santoro. Santoro looking to get it to Scotty Swain, but turned it over. And back the other way comes Cam Collins. Collins over the line. He'll turn it over. Santoro takes it, feeds it all the way back, and will force Rogels, Sebastian Rogels, 5'8" freshman out of Exeter, New Hampshire, to play the puck inside his own zone. Back the other way comes the Hawks. A nice chip steal by O'Connell as breaking in was Aliberti. Chipped it off the stick, and then the Eagles dump it in with Atkinson. Atkinson trying to get after it. It's chipped up the near side wall by Connolly and out of play. With 8:06 gone and a fast-moving first period, no score. Eagles doing a little better job of keeping the Hawks out of the zone.
Yeah, the neutral zone play for Post has got to improve with defense holding the line a little bit better, and they can only do that if their forwards are back checking a little bit harder. So if they can put those two together, they can slow down that rush and transition of St. Anselm through the neutral zone.
Face-off won by the Hawks again, but Pekka in there forechecking on number 12, Alec O'Connor, the freshman out of Winchester, Massachusetts. Howe takes a shot toward the net, right on, swallowed whole by Benitez. PJ Benitez, his third start of the season, fourth game, 2.75 goals against and a .910 save percentage for the junior out of Tingsboro, Massachusetts. Face off to his left. Howe this time tries to go backwards on the face-off. Eagles trying to gain control, but O'Connor will play it behind his own net for the Hawks. He'll spin away from Howe, try to rim it up the far side, then a bad pass in the middle. Just goes through Pekka's stick and skates, or else he would have had an opportunity closing in from about 30 feet out. Long pass looking for Trombley, deflected, so no icing. Hope will play it behind his own net to O'Connell, but a forechecking Kelly in there forces a quick pass and then a near turnover at the line, but Pekka there to bail him out as Hope dove for it as well. Pekka gets to the red line, tries to dump it deep, can't get it deep. Good play there by 22 Hunter Hoffman, sophomore out of Stevensville, Maryland, to force the puck back into the Eagle zone. Here's Howe, gets over his blue line, gives it to Pekka, who dumps it into the Hawk zone. Eagle forwards will go off for a line change, and here come the Hawks outside their own zone. Here's a long shot taken by Alex Hoyt, the senior out of East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Deflected off a leg and back to center, now played by Keaton Richards. Richards goes up on left wing, puck dumped into the zone by Nolan Davis. Glassroot in there first, being checked by Patrick DeMarinis. DeMarinis holding on to Glassroot, gets behind the net to McCall, goes right back to Glassroot. Now he'll try to come up on right wing. He chips it up ahead to Schweitzer. Schweitzer, who had his first varsity point on Friday, chips it behind the net, rims it around. The centering pass in front. It lay in the crease as there were no Eagles there to get a stick on it, but forcing Benitez to make a save. 9:49 into period one. Still no score.
Yeah, a little better opportunity there for Post. I mean, I think what they need to do is they need to bring a second player in closer support to the puck carrier, because when those little stick checks and such are made, the only player there to pick it up is wearing a blue jersey.
Murray on the draw as Isaac Martins is tossed. That'll force Chris Cordero to take the draw for the Hawks. Murray wins it back to the point to Kimball. Kimball took a shot as he played the top of the near circle on the faceoff. He ended up with a shot, got deflected, and then dumped all the way down. Kennedy behind Kunin. Chip pass to Kimball over here right in front of us. Goes up the middle looking for a streaky McMains. And McMains trying to get there first. He gets there. One time's a shot and just misses the net. as he just wound up and fired from the far side of the ice. Just missed the net. Murray, nice job to keep it in. Going down the near side, looking to chip it in front to Kimball. Sticked away on the half wall and then dumped into the near side corner. McMahon's in there forechecking with Murray. Puck pops free into the middle. Rieger came down for it. Puck still bouncing. It lay there momentarily and then pops in the air. Out the center where Kennedy will give it to Rieger. Santoro on the ice. High can of corn type pop fly by Kennedy. Gloved by Benitez with 9:22 to go in the first. No score. Good forecheck there by that line of Howell, Kimball, Murray, and McMahon's.
Yeah, they had something going, and that's the kind of play that they just need to get a little bit more consistently as a group.
Santoro on the draw against Manning. Santoro won that draw. Gazzardi trying to pick it up on the half wall. He's forechecked. Santoro in there as well. Four-man scrum. Good job by Gazzardi to push it forward. Got it on the stick of Holden Beckett, who rimmed it around. Eagles pinching in is O'Connell, and then that defense will back up, and out comes St. A's. But then, they ended up with a back pass instead of going forward, so forcing the play is Rogels. Rogels will go D to Connolly. He'll take a return feed. Now they get it up the middle, and a nice pass on the stick of Leinert. Leinert, though, chopped away by O'Connell. Feeds it over to Rogels. Rogels looking ahead for Collins. Collins will have to circle back at neutral ice as he's being forechecked by Beckett. Passes to Rogels. Rogels will dump it in around the boards from far to near. O'Connell in there first does a good job to take the hit of Collins, feed the puck up the wall nicely to Santoro. Santoro trying to go around the defense of Connolly. He chases after it, gets to the puck first, checked by Rogels in that corner, tried to center it in front, but didn't get a lot of it, ended up getting taken away. Chipped into the corner, but Santoro in there with a big hit as well, but out comes St. A's. Over the line to Marinus. That's Leinert. Leinert switches sides with Aliberti. Gives to Leinert. Leinert tries to go back to the point, but a nice steal by the Eagles. Howell. Now he comes. Long pass to Pekka over here. Feeds a nice pass in the middle to Atkinson. Atkinson tries to go through too many players, trying to center it, though, as he takes both players into the corner. Pekka there to help out. A stick goes flying as well. Now Pekka in there forechecking. Now a fifth player will come in. That puck gets rimmed all the way around, and Glassrud pinches in for it. Glassrud goes behind the net, looking to center, goes back to the point to Pacheco. Pacheco over here for a one-timer by Howell. He fanned on it as two Hawk players go diving in front of Benitez. But a nice setup there with Glassrud down low, ending up with a one-timer for Howell. He just fanned on it. Pekka back to the point to Pacheco. Pacheco, who had his first goal on Saturday, gives to Glassrud to try a shot looking for a tip that went off a leg. And the Hawks finally able to get it out to center with Aliberti. Aliberti gets to the red line, dumps it in, goes off on a line change. Glassrud skating 200 feet, goes back to get the puck with 7:15 to go in the first period, and no score here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for joining us wherever you are around the world on a Friday afternoon in the heart of hockey, the state of Connecticut. McMahon's behind the net, turns it over to Hoffman. Hoffman will get it to center, and then Rieger will send it right back in and force the Hawks to play 200 feet again as Hoffman behind his own net rims it up the wall, but it goes off the foot of Nolan Davis, and the Eagles able to keep it in. Hoyt behind his own net, trying to get the puck to Richards. He does. Richards spins away from a check, comes out the far side of the ice, looks for a pass across the middle, and just turns it over to Kennedy. Kennedy at the red line, rims it around right back in. Hawks can't get a line change. McMahon's in there pinching for it. Now Murray has an opportunity. Fanned on his shot as it deflected off a stick. Went behind the net. Hawks played up the line, but a good job by Murray to keep it in again. As now the Eagles will go off on a full and complete line change, and so will the Hawks. That's puck played behind the net. Stolen. Shot wide as McCall, I think that was Schweitzer or McCall, got his stick on it. It was Schweitzer. Stole a pass up the middle. Took a shot at it. Went wide. Puck chipped up the far wall. Now Norling will chase after it at neutral ice. O'Connell. Long pass ahead right to the Hawk line. O'Connell gave to McCall. McCall dumped it into the bench on the deflection. With 5:59 to go in the first, Eagles now have tilted the ice slightly, Coach, as there's been a lot more forechecking, similar to the weekend against Southern New Hampshire, where their forecheck was dominant.
Yeah, the Eagles on those last two shifts did a really good job of controlling the pace and the tempo and dictating play, and that's what they need to do. St. A's is a very skilled team, and you want to make it difficult for them to move pucks and play their team game.
Santoro, Gazzardi, and Swain out for the Eagles. Face-off won by the Hawks, though, as Connolly sends it behind the net up the wall to Cordero. Cordero trying to get it out. He does, but Santoro stole it away and now feeds it back to Gazzardi. Gazzardi using his body, Feeds a pass back to Hope. Hope goes to O'Connell. O'Connell gets to the red line, dumps it high in the air, looking for a tough bounce. It goes by Benitez, so Swain will fight forward in the corner with Martinetti. Santoro in to help out on the forecheck. Instead, the puck ends up back to Hope. Hope, long shot from the point off the leg of Cordero. Sends it into the near side corner where the Hawks again try to forecheck. Again, the Hawks try to get it out of the zone as the Eagles forecheck, and Gazzardi forcing the Hawks to make a couple of passes, and finally out of the zone they come. Cordero gets to the red line, had it chopped off his stick. Santoro there will go back to his D of Hope, and Hope plays in his own zone. Hope fanned on his pass, though, but able to recover before it could have been stolen by Isaac Martins. Hope tries to go high in the air, played by Martinetti, who stayed at the red line. The Eagles finally able to get it and play it deep inside the zone. McCowell in there to forecheck. Good spin-away move by Rogels. Rogels gets it up the near side wall and a quick pass across the ice to Collins. Collins, though, turns it over to Schweitzer. Schweitzer tries to quickly return it. McCowell tried to center it to Norling, but they crisscrossed each other, and puck ends up back in neutral ice. Norling dumps it in, but gloved by Leinert before it could go deep. He'll carry it out and then try to go across the ice, but a nice stick by McCowell presents a cross-ice pass to Collins. McCowell forechecking, gives it on the stick of Pacheco. Pacheco in over the line, buries it in, makes a fancy move, able to pinch it into the near side corner and behind the net, chasing after is Schweitzer. Schweitzer, near corner, now up the half wall, and then he'll turn it over, and back comes Aliberti. Aliberti can't get it deep. It's a nice stand-up play by Glasser to the line, gives it to Norling for a one-time heavy bomb shot that he didn't get all of, more of a knuckle with 4:08 to go in the first. Still no score, but again, the Eagles standing taller at the blue line, not allowing the Hawks in and then creating an offensive opportunity.
Yeah, the ice is tilted a bit in Poe's favor right now for sure.
It's as if the Eagles survived that first 10-minute wave and they've been able to sort of regain themselves in the last 6. Pekka on the faceoff, wins it clean, back to Kennedy. Kennedy shot toward the net, looking for a deflection. He got it by Pekka, but that deflected it nowhere near Benitez. And the puck popped free. Eagles back forechecking. That puck goes high in the air, and hard to do here at the lower level of the arena is hit that roof, what the Hawks did. Got to force a face-off deep inside the Hawks zone with 3:56 to go in the first period.
Yeah, again, overall Post has gotten a little bit better of the play so far, and they're forcing some really nice turnovers. Offensively, I think we need to support better to give more options to our puck carrier.
Eagles win another faceoff, but the Hawks end up with the puck as the Eagles couldn't control, so Kennedy will play it in the far side corner inside the zone. Then a centering pass. Rebound, they score! Quick turnover, quick centering pass. Ben couldn't control the rebound, and in front it was popped into the net at 16-18 by Keaton Richards. The sophomore out of Amarillo, Texas, gets his 6th goal of the season. And a quick turnover, and everything we were just talking about, Coach, sort of goes out the window on the turnover by Kennedy. And a centering pass and a shot into the goal by Keaton Richards.
Sure, there's a turnover there, and then we puck watched, and neither of those go well for you.
16-18 the time will confirm the assist. I think the Mariners gets one, but right back in the other way comes St. A's, and a nice job to back check by Baxter Kimball. Otherwise, that would have been an opportunity for Connor Kelly, who was streaking down the slot all alone. Right now we know it's Keaton Richards 6 at 16-18. We'll get you the assist in a moment. Eagles bring it into the Hawk zone, looking to center it in front. The Eagles trail for the first time in 2 games. We'll see how they react. And back the other way comes Manning. Manning for the Hawks. A nice pass across, but offsides, and then a shot and a couple of slashes as Tremblay took a shot well after the whistle.
I don't think anybody expected that whistle. That was a pretty late whistle.
To be fair, though, he had his arm up the whole way.
Yeah.
Probably should have blown it before he touched it.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. If it's off, it's off.
Yeah, so, but he got a couple of slashes in the pads to let him know they weren't happy about it with 3:01 to go in the first. Officially, the goal is Richards' 6th from Demarinis at 16-18. For Demarinis, his 9th assist of the season and 14th point. Glassard behind his own net to Pacheco, to Gazzardi, to Santoro. Santoro gives to Gazzardi. He'll dump it in onside. Around the wall, Swain tries to get it. It gets chipped away from him, but Glassard pinches down. Goes to Swain in the corner. Swain trying to get it back to Glassard. Instead goes behind the net to Santoro. Santoro gets to Gazzardi, back to Glassry for a shot that handcuffs and rebound. Scotty Swain had an opportunity, sends it around to Santoro, just missed as Benitez was scrambling. You can hear the moan by coach as the Eagles had 3 good opportunities, but the centering pass to Santoro, probably the best, just went through his skates and his stick and unable to put it in the goal. Then puck sent down the ice in front to Ben, where he leaves it for Pacheco. Pacheco trying to get it out, got it to Schweitzer, who tried to look for Swain, but then turned it over, and back the other way comes Leinert. Leinert gets to the red line, tried to dump it low, instead brought in over the line by Collins. Collins with time and space turned it over to McCall. McCall now being forechecked heavily by Aliberti, reversing the flow. Then the Eagles kick it right back in. Aliberti, though, lost it as he tried to make a move. Regains it out of the neutral zone as the sloppy play by both sides going on here in the last 30 seconds. And Aliberti will finally dump it in, making Pacheco chase. Puck sent up the wall. Aliberti left it because he thought he had a defenseman there. Instead, they went off on a line change, so the puck went out to neutral ice. And now Rieger has it. Rieger pops it free to Schweitzer. Schweitzer looking to get the puck and stay onside, but a nice check by Martinetti. Took the puck off his stick and then took the body, and he'll play it deep inside his own zone, reverses the flow to King. King to Aliberti, who will carry it out of the zone. Feed a nice pass to Collins in over the line, but triple teamed by the Eagle D. And Pekka comes away with it, and back come the Eagles the other way. Pekka, long pass looking for Atkinson. It's onside. Howell will get there first. Atkinson looking to play as 4 players go behind the net looking for it. It comes out the far side. Hoffman trying to chip it up the wall, but 2 Eagles there take him out. Puck rolls up to the half wall, finally on the stick of Collins. He'll pop it high in the air and out to center. Rieger sends it back in, but the Eagles are desperately offsides as Atkinson was still in the zone. Howell then recross. He's still offside, but finally the Hawks get it out, and this should be an icing. And that's a break for the Eagles, considering they were heavily offside multiple times. And the Hawks chose to ice it with 41.9 to go in period 1. Stay with us in the first intermission. We'll go around the post-university sports scene, an ever-busy post-university sports scene. Basketball getting ready to wrap up. Women's hockey getting ready to wrap up the regular seasons. Baseball starting. Lacrosse starting. Flag football just 2 weeks away. Actually, a week and a half, 9 days away. A busy post-university sports scene, but we'll do all that in the first intermission. Hawks win the face-off behind the net. It's Hoffman trying to chip it up the far side. Nice pinch in by Glassroot. Keeps the puck in as Murray will send it back in, but it deflects off a body into the netting. Deep inside the Hawks zone will be another face-off with 32 seconds even to go. Murray and Richards, the goal scorer, on the draw. Murray wins that one clean. Back to Rieger. Rieger gives it to Kimball, who sends it down low to Murray. Murray being checked off by Richards, gives to McMains. McMains tries to spin off a check, and he does nicely. McMains closing in with a shot toward the net, stopped by Benitez right on. Rebound goes behind the net. Nice setup there by the Eagles on that cycle. McMains had an opportunity, then a turnover to Rieger. Rieger quickly to Murray. Murray spindles with it, looks to Kennedy, fakes it, then shoots it toward the net. Right pad save by Benitez with 3. Eagles need to get another shot toward the net. Centered out in front as a player goes falling down behind the net. I think that was McMains. And that'll end one period of play. That was actually Rieger behind the net. 1 period of play here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach, a 1-0 lead for St. A's on a turnover inside the Eagle zone. But otherwise, first 10 minutes were all Hawks. Last 10 minutes, for the most part, were all Eagles.
Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it, too. For posts, they're effective when they can forecheck. The downside to that, I guess, if there is one, I mean, never downside to forechecking, but there is one if the sustainability, right? You got to be able to play that way for 60 minutes. I'd like to see them add on their zone entry. There's opportunities where they can get a little better support, move to some open areas, and we can get some pucks through. So the forecheck becomes as a result of tracking down a rebound rather than just trying to throw it in, win that 50-50, and just turn the puck over in that sense.
That's the story through 1 period of play here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. St. A's leads the Eagles 1-0. After 1, we'll come back in 2 minutes with our look around the post-university sports scene here on the Post-University Sports Network. Again, 1-0 St. A's. You're listening and watching Post-University Hockey on the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. St. A's leads the Eagles 1-0. After one period of play, goal by Richards, his sixth of the season from the Mariners at 13-18. As we do in the first period intermission of all Eagle home games, we go around the Post University sports scene, and that's brought to you by Post University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs, from its nationally ranked men's soccer team, who have made the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row, or the brand new women's flag football team slated to start in 9 days. Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy, whether you're a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, please go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. And remember, folks, Post University are your Division II Connecticut athletic program. Eagle fans, it would appear that the weather is getting better, maybe even a little warmer. Spring break is right around the corner, and what better way to show off your support than with your favorite team than buying or grabbing some Post University swag. Go to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then choose School Store on the left-hand side. Shop till you drop for all the latest Eagle gear and apparel. Shop today and use the code SAVE20 to receive 20% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code SAVE, SAVE20. It'll expire on Sunday, February 22nd. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. That's open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's start with baseball as we look around the post-university scene today. Baseball fell to 0-4 with a 19-9 loss to Franklin Pierce yesterday. First three losses coming to number one ranked University of Tampa. But this game took place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Senior catcher Manny Contreras had a multi-hit game yesterday against Franklin Pierce and had 3 RBIs. He also had 2 home runs with those 3 RBIs, but the Eagles fell to 0-4 as they played at Ebbets Field in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Eagles will take on Mercy University today at 4:30 p.m. in a doubleheader. The Eagles have lost their last 2 games against the Mavericks from Mercy University, with last year's 11-6 loss being their first matchup with Mercy since the 2015 season. Schedule for the baseball team is they're going to spend some time down in South Carolina. They'll play Malloy on Sunday, Southern Connecticut on Saturday. That's tomorrow. Then they'll play in Asheboro, North Carolina against Cedarville University in a 4-game series. Then go to Boca Raton to play Bentley and Malloy before finally coming home for the home opener, which will be March 11th against Caldwell University. That'll be a doubleheader Wednesday, March 11th against Caldwell University. Men's basketball team, fell unfortunately to Caldwell 57-54. That makes their record 10-15 on the season. 9-8 in the CACC. Harry Scully had a career high in points for the Eagles with 14. He was 5 for 11, had 7 rebounds and 2 steals. Eagles are 7-1 when leading in halftime, but 3-11 when not, and they didn't lead at halftime in the game against Caldwell. They'll host Goldie Beacom tomorrow, 3 p.m. at the Drubner Center for their senior day. In the road matchup, the Eagles fell 83-73 earlier this season, but have defeated them 5 out of the last 7 times overall. That's Goldie Beacom had the Eagles. Again, 3 p.m. up at the Drubner Center for senior day for men's basketball. They'll round out the regular season with games Wednesday at Dominican and a game a week from Saturday against Georgian Court. That will end up the regular season and end the CACC regular season portion of the schedule. Women's basketball will play at 1 p.m. up at the Drubner Center on Saturday before the men's game, and then they'll wrap up their regular season at Dominican and at Goldie Beacom as well. Lacrosse, they started their season off on the right foot, the men's lacrosse team, should I say, as they defeated AIC 14-6 to move to 1-0 on the season. AIC fell to 1-2. But the Eagles got a hat trick from senior attacker Ryan Deneke. He recorded his 8th career hat trick as part of a 5-point game, as the Eagles were able to shut out AIC for 2 quarters on their way to that 14-6 victory. With his hat trick, Ryan Deneke now has recorded 8 games in which he's had 3+ goals in his 4-year career. Deneke finished with 3 goals and 2 assists in the win. Of the 20 total goals scores, 11 of them were unassisted, 7 coming from Post University, allowing only 6 goals to AIC. This is the first time since February 26, 2025, in which the Eagles held their opponent to 6 goals or fewer. In the all-time series, Post now leads AIC 9-3. Post will host their first home game of the season on Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. against Assumption at Lemoy Field. The all-time series, the Eagles are 0-7 against the Greyhounds from Assumption. This will be their first matchup since the 2020 season. Again, Eagles and Greyhounds in men's lacrosse on Wednesday up at Lemoy Field. Ice hockey for the women, they're getting ready to wrap up their regular season. They're down at LIU for a home-and-home series, which starts today at 3 p.m. That game is ongoing now. We'll see if you can get you an update on that game. The Eagles coming off a 3-2 win against Stonehill on Valentine's Day Saturday in a solid matchup of those two programs. The Eagles, though, don't appear to be able to get themselves out of 7th place, so they'll end up playing the 2 seed in the first round of the NEWHA playoffs, which start a week from today, I believe. 2 out of 3 in the first round of the NEWHA playoffs. Eagles right now in the 7th spot will play 2 seed, though we don't know who that is. See if we can get you an update on that score as we go through intermission. But that's your look around the Post University sports scene for a Friday afternoon here, February 20th, here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. A busy, busy, busy Post University sports day and season. We'll come back in 2 minutes with Coach's thoughts, a recap of the first period, and get you ready for the start of period 2. You're listening and watching Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Back here with you at the Sports Center of Connecticut, Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney. Eagles trail the Hawks 1-0. Update from Long Island. Lady Eagles trail 2-1 to LIU in the third period. Tristan Curry, the Eagle goal. They had a 1-0 lead, but LIU has taken a 2-1 lead midway through the third period now down in Long Island. USA leads 2-0 over Slovakia in the Olympic semifinals. In Olympic hockey, winner gets Canada on Sunday, which should be a fun hockey game. 3-1 now, LIU, by the way, late midway through the third period. Shots on goal in the first period, 10-7 for the Eagles. Faceoffs dominated by the Hawks, 13-5. And the only goal was basically on a turnover down in the far side corner that Patrick Demarinis found and whipped a shot towards Kunin. Kunin couldn't control the rebound. It lay out in the slot, and bam, Keaton Richards put it in on the top corner, his 6th of the year at 16-18 to make it 1-0, and that's the only goal of the period. Coach, again, as we talked about, overall thought solid 10 minutes by the Eagles, solid 10 minutes by the Hawks, but face-offs are dominant, and that sort of leads control of the play as well. The Eagles got their forecheck going a little bit, but they're in a position they're not really great at, which is trailing by a goal, though they've played better offensively in this 6-game stretch. So what do the Eagles need to do to sort of get back into this and take it their way?
Yeah, I think offensively, closer support as St. Anselm's cuts that ice in half defensively. I'd like to see Post have a better puck support, more surrounding that puck and that puck carrier, because right now they're spread a little bit and that puck carrier does not have a lot of options. The other piece is I'd like to see them try to get inside the dot in the attacking zone, which will give them opportunities and force the defenders to make a choice. And secondly is shooting the puck. Get the puck to the net, because their forecheck is very good, but if you watch their forecheck, it's very successful when they're hunting pucks. There's a rebound, they're tracking a puck, and they're hunting pucks. Their forecheck is very successful. When they come in and they just dump it, not so much. It's okay-ish, but St. A's, because they're so skilled, they do a great job of going D to D down low, wait for the pressure, move it back, over to the wall, up and out. So I think if they can work on those two things, we'll take it to that for right now. There's some other things, but let's take it to that right now. Let's see if we can see some of that moving forward into this second period.
Teams get ready to take the ice for the start of the second period. Again, update down in Long Island. The Eagles trail 3-1. They weren't locked into the 7 seed, but if they lose this game in regulation, they will be locked into the 7 seed in the NEWHA playoffs. If they somehow come back to garner a point or win, they can still end up in the 6 seed as they only trail Sacred Heart by 4. Assumption, St. A's, or Franklin Pierce could be the team they play in the first round, but we won't know that till after the weekend. Again, a best 2 out of 3 in the first round of the NEWHA playoffs. Teams have taken the ice for the start of period number 2. Updates from the Olympics. 4-0 USA now as Jack Hughes and Jack Eichel score 19 seconds apart to double the lead from 2-4. So barring an epic collapse, it looks like we're going to get USA and Canada on the men's side on Sunday. Eagles go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. They're wearing the home whites. St. A's in the dark blue and gray, going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. We thank you wherever you're joining us around the world on the Post University Sports Network. Face-off is down, and off we go. Start of period number 2 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Alec O'Connor will dump it in. Glasser does a good job to cut it off. Finds Kimball, who tried to dump it in. O'Connor kept it in, but now here comes Murray. Murray, and over the line, being swiped at by a heavy check by Collins. Now a 4-player scrum in that far side corner. McMain's in there as well. Referee telling him no whistle, keep playing, and McMain's comes away with it, being checked by O'Connor. McMain's goes down. O'Connor tries to play it up, gets it off the stick to Aliberti. Now a 2-on-1. Aliberti goes across the ice to Leinert, in over the line, looks to go back to Collins, ends up going behind him off the bench with a stick swipe as King sends it toward the net over Kunin, and now back to the point, but Glassrud feeds it on a dump down low and played out to center. That was a 2-on-1 that turned into a bad setup, as St. A's would have been better just seemingly driving the net, but Leinert tried to go back to Collins, and that pass never got near him.
Yeah, you got to keep it simple. I mean, right there, if you don't see net, go low, far pad, and you got a player driving the net. That's a much higher percentage play, but, maybe the player saw something we didn't see.
Manning and Santoro on the draw. Santoro won that draw, as the Eagles need to do a better job on the faceoffs overall. They lost 13 out of 18 in period 1. Kennedy in his own zone. Kennedy and Rieger right back to playing with each other. as they did in most of the first period, but wasn't scheduled that way. Here's Santoro over the line, fakes it, gives to Gazzardi, and again, a little bit too much overpassing as he sent it behind Swain, and back the other way comes Tremblay. Tremblay will dump it in, gets taken down by Kennedy in the process. Gazzardi will rim it up the wall looking for Santoro. Instead goes back to the point, chopped back in toward the net. Here's a shot by Tremblay right on that Cunin makes a save as he held that post. But again, just as we said on the St. A's drive, a little bit too much overpassing by Gazzardi as he had an opportunity top of the circle, instead went behind Swain. That led to a Hawk opportunity.
Yeah, especially when you're in the beginning of a period. Keep it simple. Get pucks to the net. Get a feel, get a touch. Force your opponent to be good. When you miss a pass, it becomes a nothing play.
Face off to Ben's left. Howell out there for the Eagles. Lost that face off as Richards wins it. Puck chopped out in the circle looking to find an owner. Instead it goes back to the point, but a good play by the Eagles, and Kimball goes down. Excuse me, that was Atkinson who goes down. Howell left it on the half wall. Long shot from the point. Stopped by the glove of Cunin as Rogels wound up and fired a shot that Cunin makes a glove save on with 1:49 gone in period 2. Still 1-0 Hawks.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it looks like St. A's is looking to create rebounds off of Ben. Shoot from a little bit further out and create some rebounds, which is probably tactically a smart move.
Howell is down in the Eagle corner. He finally gets up, gets back into the play, and a dangerous centering pass looking for Richards again. Just goes by his stick, and a long shot in. Richards takes a second shot. Looks like that went off the post and came right back out. Glassroot sent a dangerous pass up the middle, kept in the zone again by Rogels. Richards looking for a lane, takes a shot, goes off Cunin's glove. Rebound back to Richards again, and Cunin will jump up in the air off his knees and glove it down. Just a calamity of errors on that setup by the Eagles in the zone there, but Ben bails him out. Howell also went down hurt, had to get back into the play.
Yeah,
That's what hockey players do.
Post needs to do a better job, Jeff, of anticipating where the play is going to go to, where the puck is going to move to, as opposed to waiting and reacting. It's too late when you wait and react. You got to anticipate.
Turnaround shot goes off a leg, then a centering pass in front looking for John Myers. Goes back to the point, shot wide the net, and now the Eagles have an opportunity to come out on a 3-man wave. Here's Norling. Norling with McCowell and Schweitzer over the line, gives it to Schweitzer, closes it, takes a shot, big save, rebound through the crease as Norling found it, and McCowell dumps Cordero. No penalty break there, but a nice 3-man wave by the Eagles there. Nice setup. Schweitzer looking for his first goal. Almost had it there, and then the recenter by Norling right through the crease for the Eagles' best opportunity probably of the game.
Yeah, and again, St. Anselm's right there did exactly what we talked about Post was doing. They kind of stood around and watched. Post was able to make 3 passes, and no one picked anybody up. No one came and picked anyone up. So you should anticipate that, right? If puck is wide and there's a player coming down the far side, the weak side, someone should be finding that player, marking them, and taking away that opportunity.
First real odd man rush for the Eagles, and then Rieger came off and took a shot that Benitez had to make a save on, and that's why the face-off inside the Hawks zone. Puck rimmed around the wall. Hope does a good job to reverse the flow. Get it on the stick of O'Connell, but then he turned it over, and a fan shot, and out come the Eagles again. With speed is McMains. He'll go high in the air, dump it in. Kimball will go in a forecheck. McMains actually wins the race to his own puck. Gets it behind the net. He's got Kimball with him. Kimball tried to come out with it. Couldn't control. McMains goes back to the point to Hope. Hope keeps it in on the blue line. Dumps, nope, offsides. They're going to say they're offsides. So everybody's got to tag up. And that'll give the Hawks an opportunity to try to come out of the zone with it. Here's Collins with speed looking for Aliberti up on left wing. He chipped it into the zone, letting Liner go into forecheck. O'Connell behind the net. O'Connell tries to keep the puck from being centered. He did. Pekka gives it to Hope, and out comes Hope. Hope has somebody back checking, but keeps it up the line to Santoro. He had it chopped off his stick. Nice pass here to Aliberti. Aliberti closing in, but had a nice centering pass to James Hope. They play on different teams, and the puck sent all the way down the ice for an icing. Beautiful centering pass there, but unfortunately for the Hawks, it was an Eagle player in the middle of the slot who took that puck away.
It was, and early on in that, when you're coming into the zone, you have to protect the puck. Can't expose the puck. That's what happened there early on that side there for Joe. That he's going to protect that puck a little bit better with his body as he comes in.
Santoro and Manning to Ben's left. Won by the Eagles. O'Connell will send it around the wall, but Manning gets there first as Santoro in there to forecheck. He steals it away, spins behind his own net, looking to get it out of the zone, and then it's sent right back behind the net where O'Connell will fight for it. Joe gets his stick in there, pins it up the wall, and Pekka does a good job to take it away. Guzzardi can't control, so the Hawks will bring it right back in with Manning. Manning dumps it in, forcing the forecheck. O'Connell faked going around the net, instead played it on the far side, looking for Santoro up at center. Santoro with speed. He's in, over the line, still has it, up on left wing. Looking to center, he goes behind the net. Got Guzzardi with him, goes back to the point. Pacheco, D-to-D to Glassrud, who takes a shot that gets blocked. Puck popped in the air, stick goes flying. Guzzardi still has it. Guzzardi forechecking behind his own net. McCowell comes off the bench to help out. McCowell goes back to Pacheco at the point, but stolen by Tremblay, who will get it out back to neutral ice. Nice chip pass to Manning. He'll carry it in on right wing over the line, leaves it for Tremblay. Tremblay tried to control, sent it toward the net. Good Eagles do a good job defensively. Now they'll come out on a four-man wave. Here's Norling over the line. Norling leaves for Pacheco, closes it with a shot that gets stopped by Benitez as Pacheco looking for his second goal in 2 games. That time, simple passing, drop pass. Pacheco closed in, but shot it into the body of Benitez.
Yeah, if he can get his body more inside the dots. I mean, you want to be trying to get shots from inside the dots and making plays inside the dots to increase your angle.
Eagles win that face-off. Rieger toward the net, shot it off the skate of Norling. Norling tried to rim it around behind the net, but Richards played it. He'll send it all the way to Demarinis on the far side. Demarinis tried to get it out, but the Eagles keep it in. Norling, long shot, blocker save by Benitez as the Eagles doing a good job keeping it in, but then taken by Richards on a 3-man hawk wave. Richards over the line having trouble controlling it, and Kennedy stole it away, but there's a penalty behind the play for something. Sportsmanlike conduct?
Yeah, that's unsportsmanlike.
At 5:41, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct on Connor McCowell. I'll admit to not seeing that one behind the play, but we'll chalk that up to bad penalty. Power play for the year, 17 for 102 for the Hawks. That's 16.7%, fourth in the NE10. The Eagles are second on the penalty kill, 84 for 99, 84.8%. One-timer shot stopped by Ben as they set Leinert up at the top of the near circle for a one-timer. Eagles trying to get it out, but a nice job kept in by Martins. Martins on left point gives down to the half wall to Leinert. Leinert holds, the captain, goes back to center point. Hard stick play by Connolly to keep it in. Goes back to Leinert, who can't control. Hope gets checked off by the aggressive Demarinis, and now it's pinned behind the wall. Now 4 players there, 3 Hawks, 1 Eagle. James Hope doing a good job keeping it right on the wall as the Hawks try to get it out, and they finally do. Comes back to the point to Connolly. Connolly goes D-to-D across to Collins. Collins looks for a shot, looking for a deflection more than anything. That went wide. Connolly with time, goes center point, watched by Murray, goes down low to Collins. Collins, back to Connolly, back to Collins. Collins on the half wall on the far side, goes back to Connolly, top of the slot. Waits, gives to Collins, closing in with a shot toward the net. He goes off the side of the net. Ben might have gotten a piece of it, but it did go off the side of the net. Beckett in there trying to get it, Holden Beckett fighting for it, and in a wrestling move that would have gotten you 2 points in a collegiate wrestling match, keeps the puck in the zone. Collins, center point, toward the net with a shot, looking for a deflection. Ben makes a save. Rebound, Ben makes another save as Leinert deflected it in, and that puck's been in the Eagle zone the entire time. A minute 24 of that power play, leaving 36 seconds, and 7:06 gone in period 2. 1-0, but a tired group of penalty killers for the Eagles.
Yeah, it is. Again, we're saying, and it's harder to do, obviously, on the penalty kill, but you still have to anticipate plays, get a sense of where they're looking to move pucks to, because otherwise you're just chasing.
Myers win the face-off to O'Connor. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor goes D-to-D to Kelly. Long shot from the point, stopped by Kunin right on as Tremblay took a shot from the left point. They actually had 3 players did the Hawks out at the point. Santoro goes high in the air, can't get it out. 15 seconds remaining on the power play as the Hawks have had it inside the Eagle zone the entire time. Long shot through a screen of players, and Ben somehow found it. Got a glove on it with 9 seconds remaining on the Hawk power play. This puck has literally been in the zone for 1:51.
Yeah, right now the goaltender needs to be your best penalty killer, and right now, thankfully for Post, Ben deserves several taps on the pads because he is that player.
We had the perfect angle from here from that shot, and I don't know how Ben saw it because I couldn't see Ben through the players. Eagles finally get it out. Gazzardi goes in after. Still don't really know what the unsportsmanlike penalty was for, but McCall comes out of the box and lays a hit on Collins, who had the puck. Again, the puck kept in. Now, some fancy passing by the Hawks, and the Eagles able to get it out of the zone. McCall just out of the penalty box, regroups, inside his own zone, looks for some speed, gets to the red line, tries to chop it into the zone, and he will. That allows some Eagles to go for a line change, and it's played by Hoyt. Hoyt, checked by Norling, goes to the far side, gives to Aliberti. He'll take a return feed with 8 minutes gone in the second period, still 1-0. Cordero gets it up to Richards, the goal scorer. Richards had it roll off his stick. Eagles will chase after it. Kennedy comes out the far side inside his own with it. Kennedy with some speed goes around one, gets to the red line, goes over to blue. Leaves it for Murray. Murray had his stick check nicely on the aggressive play by Justin Tremblay. He'll go high in the air, nicely gloved down. I don't know how that's not offsides, and it is offsides. With 8:32 gone in the second, still 1-0. Again, face-off will be... Two linesmen are arguing where the face-off is. You don't see that often. It's going to be right outside the Hawk line.
Pleading his case.
Yeah, the one linesman not happy with the other linesman is going to win the fight. Now the referee's going to come in and have a conversation. That one linesman looked offended. You don't see that often. Linesman on linesman crime. Eagles win that face-off. Hope picks it up inside his own zone, being watched with a dangerous pass to Gazzardi, but Gazzardi gets it out to Santoro. Santoro over the line on right wing. Spins with it. Holds and waits. Looks to center. Instead, he'll keep spinning as he gets checked by Tremblay. Goes back to the blue line, dumps it in. Fighting for it is Gazzardi. Great effort by Gazzardi to dump it further, and Swain will pick it up behind the net. Swain comes out. Back to the point to Hope. Hope waits, closes in, waits too long, though. Able to get a stick check on it was Tremblay. But then Hope recovers and makes a nice play to keep that puck from going the other way. Hope chasing after his own dump, goes behind the net, had Santoro in front, couldn't get there. Swain comes out to help out. He lost control of it, rolls up the half wall. Swain goes back to forecheck on Kelly. And now the puck behind the net on Martinetti, but he spins away from Atkinson, turns it over to Swain. Swain has it, tries to spin it in front, same spot where the Eagles turned it over that led to the Hawks goal, but the Hawks do a good job defensively and get the puck out of the zone. Nolan King to the red line, dumps it in. They'll go off on a line change. Most of them will. But playing deep still after it is Kelly. Gets past him. Long pass for Pekka. Too far. This is going to be an icing. As it was a nice thought, but couldn't get it on the stick of Mateo Pekka. With 9:42 gone in the second, still 1-0. Good effort by Joe Santoro playing his final regular season home game. He'd like to get at least one more if the Eagles can conquer enough points, although in theory the Eagles could lose two and Franklin Pierce could lose two, and the same outcome will be, though you won't feel as happy if that happens. Out the center come the Eagles. O'Connell sends it in, chasing after it is Howe. Howe does a good job. Centered it in front of Atkinson. He found him, but it rolled off Atkinson's stick. Nice idea by Howe as he won the race on the icing, then did a quick centering pass to Atkinson. Eagles send it right back in. Atkinson fights in there. Pekka tries to go back to the point to Pacheco. He turns it over as Richards tries to carry it out, but good stick check by Pekka to regain control. He tried to feed to Macau. Macau picked it up, tried to dump it deep. He got stick checked, so it didn't go deep, but it's taken deep by Connolly. Connolly spins away from Macau once. He spins away from him twice. Now spins away from Beckett. And they send the puck all the way down the center, but then the Hawks kick it right back in. As I'm not sure that was going to be offsides, and they dump it down the ice. So Glassrud there with Pacheco. Glassrud tries to find it. Macau comes back to help out, and here come the Eagles. Long pass for Beckett. He might win this icing race. We'll see. It's going to be close. And Alec O'Connor turned on the Jets at the last second to win that race with 9:23 to go in the second period, still 1-0. Good effort by Beckett, but last second jet by Alec O'Connor won that race.
Yeah, both teams have tried to stretch it a little bit here, so you'll either get the icings on those home run plays, or you'll get an opportunity.
Macau and Collins on the draw, won by the Hawks. Sent behind the net to Aliberti. Glassrud there using that 6-7 frame, sends it to the near side to Beckett. Beckett looking to get it out, gets forecheck deep, but Glassrud lays a heavy hit on Aliberti. He's there fighting for the puck in a 5-man scrum in the near side corner. Pops free into the center ice area where it's turned over to Beckett. Beckett feeds a nice pass to Norling on right wing. Tries to fight and scores! Norling found the puck. It was bobbling on his stick, and then he ripped a wrist shot past the shocked PJ Benitez, as I don't think he thought he was going to find it. But then Parker Norling at 11:06 ties the game at 1 on his 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, I don't think the goaltender was ready for that shot. He was very deep in his net, and I don't think he thought Parker was going to be able to recover that puck, or at least he didn't think he was going to make that kind of play, but it worked out.
So that big goal for the Eagles, again, not sure they could have afforded to go down 2-0. Ben's kept them in the game, and then the Eagles get a break there again. Norling bobbling that puck as he crossed in over the line, somehow got control and was able to rip it by Benitez, who, as Coach mentioned, I'm not sure was ready for it. At 11:06, his 5th of the year. We'll get you the assists in a moment. And over the line, back come the Hawks the other way. Eagles try to chip it out, but it's kept in with the glove in the hand by John Myers, the senior out of White Plains, New York. 4 players in a scrum right to the left of Ben Kunin behind him. That scrum is moved from the corner now, slowly going behind the net as Kennedy and Rieger try to stick their way out of it, and Rieger finally comes out with it. Rieger pops a high one in the air looking for the racing Gazzardi. Gazzardi almost found it. He then ended up getting it off the stick of King. Gazzardi gives to Murray. Murray with time toward the net. It gets deflected into the netting right near us as a good effort by A.J. Gazzardi to get that puck with 8:01 to go in the second. Officially the goal, Norling's 5th of the season from Holden Beckett, his 2nd assist of the season, 3rd point. And the Eagle leading point scorer, Aiden Kennedy, his 13th assist of the season and 16th point at 11:06. So now we're tied at 1.
Yep, great example of grip it and rip it right there.
Well, bobble it, grip it, and rip it. Right. And I think the bobble is what set up the goal. Hawks bring the puck out to center. Kelly dumps it in. Goes past Hope. Swain there to get it around to Gazzardi. Gazzardi will try to carry it, instead give it to Swain. Swain tries to go around the D, and he does. Up on left wing, he's in over the line. Swain closing in with a shot and a blocker save by Benitez as Swain used his speed and skill to get around 2 Hawks. Had a great opportunity, but Benitez used that blocker, and he's used it a couple times in this game to make a save there. And then the Hawks send it all the way down the ice for icing.
I like what Scott did there, getting inside the dots. That's what they need to do to get those grade A scoring opportunities. Get off the wall, stop taking a puck down along the wall and trying to get something going there. Attack, dictate play, force the defenders back. That was a really great play by him.
Hawks win that faceoff as they try to get it out, but the Atkinson-Howell combination does a good job forechecking, and then the Hawks turn it over at center as Pekka dumps it right back in. Howell will win the race, look to center in front. He had Atkinson, then Atkinson came behind the net. Howell did center it in front, but he prepared Benitez, able to deflect it to his defense. Hawks turn it over at center. Eagles dump it right back in. Back to forecheck is Atkinson and Howell. Howell actually takes a big hit on Connolly, and Howell's the one that goes down. Kennedy and Rieger, the defensive pair for the Eagles. Kennedy behind his own net. Again, his team-high 13th assist and 16th point on the goal by Parker Norling. Long pass up the middle, looking for Atkinson. It goes off Atkinson's stick. He'll try to center in front to a racing Pekka. It goes off the defensive stick of Connolly, and the puck sent out to center. Both teams, as we mentioned, going for the flyby. Now Glasser does a nice job to spin away from a check and get out of the zone with it, looking for Pekka. Goes off a body, so he never actually got out of the zone. Davis looking to center in front. He's got Collins rolling down the slot. Eagles do a good job to recover. It's Pacheco. Pacheco tries to get it to Beckett. Beckett chips it out the center, and the Eagles were able to get a couple players off on a line change. As back goes O'Connor with 6 minutes to go in the second period. 1-1. Fanned pass by Leinert. Shot back in by Beckett, but everybody had to tag up. So now Norling, the goal scorer, goes in after it. Norling left the puck there. He'll try to retrieve it. Instead, Aliberti comes up with it on the near side. He turned it over to Murray. Murray dumps it down to Norling. Players changing behind Norling, so nobody to center it to. Taken by Collins. They'll rim it around to the far side to Leinert. Leinert now being watched by McMains. Puck bounces high in the air and out to center as Glassrud will find it. Glassrud pinned to the wall, but then just throws off Aliberti, even though he's 6'2". Glasser 6'7", just pushed him away like dust. Long pass off the stick of McMahon, so no icing, and Benitez will cover just outside his crease with 5:28 to go in the second. And 1-1 the score. This is going to be a barn burner for the last 25 minutes, Coach, as both teams have something to play for.
Yeah, it's a really good college hockey game right now. The pace has picked up since that post goal. Both teams, so we'll see what they can do and create these opportunities. Like I said, I love it when they can get inside the dots and just create something for themselves.
Santoro and Martins on the draw. One by Martins. Puck bounced off the official's leg, goes behind the net, sent up the far side wall to Myers. Myers goes across to Cordero. Cordero up on left wing. He's in over the line. Continues on, tried the center in front, instead regained it, now goes back to the point. Wrist shot long way from the right point by Martinetti. Stopped by Kunin with 5:09 to go in the second. And the officials quickly jumping in to avoid any nonsense between O'Connell and Manning. Myers, rather, not Manning. Martins and Santoro again, one by Martins. He's been great on the draw. Shot from the point, blocked by Gazzardi, and now a 2-on-1 for the Eagles the other way. Here's Gazzardi in over the line, trying to get back to Swain. That was an opportunity where you want to give it back to Swain because Gazzardi couldn't control it, and a good back check by the Hawk D. And now here comes Martins over the line, leaves it for the Canary with a shot right on, stopped by Kunin. Couldn't control the rebound, makes a big save. Cruising in was Cordero from 15 feet out. Kennedy looking for Atkinson, turned it over. That just got out of the zone. Then a long shot taken from just outside the blue line by King, stopped by Kunin. Pekka tries to get it out, but there's a hand pass behind the play, I believe. Yep, hand pass. 4:34 to go in the second. Still 1-1 now. A face off the Ben's left.
Yeah, actually one of the better, I think one of the better second periods in general, regardless of who Post was playing, we've seen so far this year with the pace picking up and moving and just being a fun game to watch.
Face off the Ben's left. Won by Santoro this time to Kennedy behind the net. Aiden Kennedy takes near side, goes far side, long pass up the middle. Must be something in the scouting as he was looking for Atkinson. Atkinson got a piece of it. Enough of a deflection to prevent an icing, but turned over to Connolly. Connolly, he'll feel a long pass, but Kennedy back to steal that away. As it's almost like a curling thing right now. They're just throwing it down to each end of the ice. Here's Kennedy, gets to the red line. He'll dump it in around the boards from near to far. Pekka in on the forecheck, takes Connolly out of the play. Pekka comes away with it, makes a couple of fancy moves to spin away from Connolly and leave it for Howell, but then turned it over. O'Connell pinches in, does a nice job to keep it in the zone. Connolly still trying to get it out, and finally does to center as Tremblay came off the bench. He'll take a cross-ice dump. O'Connell will get in there first. Spin around, he gets taken down. We'll see if there's a call behind the play, and there is one. As effort creates chaos, and that'll draw a 2-minute penalty on the Hawks and send the Eagles to their first power play of the game at 16:23.
Yeah, that's a good play by OC, moving his feet, and he just reached in there at that. That was like the classic trip. OC got a little bit of a lead on him, and at the time when he was reaching in, and instead of getting a puck, he got his feet, and case closed.
Manning 2 for tripping. At 16:23, Eagles go to the man advantage. They are last in the NE10, 14.9%, 15 for 101. St. A's is fourth on the penalty kill, 60 for 75. That's 80% even. Eagles' first power play of the game. It's tied at 1. Rieger gets the center. Nice little pass ahead to Kimball. Too far. And gloved by Benitez with 28 seconds gone in the man advantage. 3:08 remaining in period 2. Still 1-0, but a face-off deep inside the Hawks zone.
Yeah, this is where the Eagles need to bear down and win these draws. These are critical draws.
Santoro, Howell, Kimball, Kennedy, and Rieger, the Eagle 5. Won by Santoro. Kennedy steps in to keep it in. Now chipping at it on the half wall, turns it over, and the puck dumped all the way down the ice. Good effort by Kennedy, but the Eagles didn't have enough help. And the puck sent all the way down the ice, so the Eagles will regroup with 3 minutes to go in period number 2. Rieger Tried to do it all himself, turned it over, though, and brought back in the other way is Tremblay. Tremblay closes and fakes the shot, tries to go around the net. Ben did a good job to cut off the angle. Tremblay never got a shot off, then he sent it into his own bench with 1:04 remaining on the power play and 2:40 to go in period 2. Stay with us in the second intermission. We'll go around the NE10. We'll discuss all the playoff scenarios, the upcoming schedule, and the standings in the NE10 in a second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lose that draw, and it's sent right back in, and Murray will play it behind his net, being forechecked hard by Demarinis. But he'll leave it for Norling, the goal scorer. Excuse me, that's O'Connell. O'Connell at center. He's in over the line, carries it in on left wing, tries to center it to Norling. Norling did a good job to come pick it up, and then stop in the far side corner. Norling goes back to the point to Murray. Murray back to Norling. Norling across looking for Pekka. Gets stick checked away by Richards. He'll go high in the air to a racing Demarinis. Demarinis will pick it up, take a shot, stopped by Kunin. He leaves a rebound, but O'Connell the only one there. And a quick pass out to Macau gets stick checked quickly by the aggressive Martinetti. Hawks penalty kill being very aggressive, not allowing the Eagles really to set it up with 15 seconds remaining. Here's Kennedy on a one-man wave over the line with a shot blockered away by Benitez, as Kennedy did a good job, and then the Eagles keep it in. It's Murray. Murray to Rieger. Rieger over here for Pekka. One-time shot right on. Rebound! And a wide-open net, and somehow Benitez made a save. That's a 10-bell save if there ever is one. Kennedy to Murray as a power play spot. Rebound lay in front. Rieger banging at it, and the puck sent all the way to center. Oh, boy, did Benitez make a highway robbery save. That's an icing, but gee whiz. I don't think I have the adjectives for that save, Coach.
No, that was a highlight film save. There's no question about it. And posted a good job of sort of skating back like I was going to get the puck and just showing enough stride for the official to call that an icing.
But PJ Benitez with the highway robbery save of the game. If I had a sponsor, I'd give it to you right now. A broken stick, that might be a penalty for touching the puck with a broken stick. As Gazzardi played it with his stick breaking in his hand at 18:38, and the Hawks are going to go to the man advantage for the second time. And they technically call that unsportsmanlike conduct, so that one I saw.
Yeah, I don't think there is a good gesture for playing the puck with a broken stick, so I think they go to the tee.
Either way, not the best of penalties. A.J. Gazzardi, 18:38, sends the Hawks back to the man advantage 0 for 1. But we'll see how that Benitez highway robbery save affects the last 82 seconds of this second period. As that's going to be a moment we want to note on the broadcast, as that was a gaping hole net. And a highway robbery save by P.J. Benitez after he made an original save, left a rebound, and somehow, some way, I have to watch that replay, how he got across is amazing. Murray and Collins on the draw to Ben's left. Second power play for the Hawks, won cleanly by the Hawks. And by the way, the Hawks had power play possession time for almost the entire power play. Shot taken from the top of the near circle by Leinert as a bouncing puck found his way, and the Eagles able to clean it all the way down the ice. So the Eagles already doing a little bit better on the penalty kill than they did the first time around. Back the other way comes Connolly. He's in over the line, gives it to Leinert up on left wing. Leinert will try to center in front. It took a weird bounce, but kept in the zone by Martins. Martins gives to Leinert. Leinert likes that position on that side of the ice, closes it. A nice little centering pass in front, they score. What a centering pass to Martins. And Leinert faked like he was going to shoot, instead dripped a little pass into the middle of the ice. And at 19-17, the Hawks regain the lead 2-1 on a power play goal by Isaac Martins, his fourth of the year.
Yeah, again, nice play. They froze the defenders. And again, watching instead of attacking. And you can't give a team with that much skill, that much time and space. There's no question.
So again, look back at the big save by Benitez at the end of the Eagle power play. Thus a Eagle penalty taken shortly thereafter, and then a power play goal late in the second period to make it 2-1. Martins his fourth from Leinert. We'll see who gets the second assist. We'll just confirm who gets the second assist in 19-17. So now the Eagles back to trailing by one. Dumped in his Glassroot. Give Connolly the second assist at 19-17 on the power play as the Eagles ice the puck. So Martin's his fourth from Leinert, his 15th assist, second on the team now with 27 points. And Connolly his 13th assist for 20 points. 16.6 to go. To the left of Kunin is the faceoff. Eagles trail 2-1. Eagles win the faceoff. Pekka tried to go forward with it. Instead, he turned it over. Good keeping at the line. Pekka finally gets a stick on it, and here he comes the other way. Looking for Atkinson with 10 seconds remaining in the period. That's Howell, excuse me. Long shot taken. Here's Pekka. Pekka with 3. In over the line, looking for Howell. Howell takes a shot toward the net, and it just goes wide. Again, that was Atkinson, not Howell. Those 9s and 8s look very similar up here. But that's how we end 2 periods here, Coach. 2-1. Eagles did a lot of things right in that second period, but the unfortunate play with a broken stick led to a second Hawk power play, and a nice setup by Luke Leinert to Isaac Martins on a late power play goal makes it 2-1, but the Eagles know they can come back in this game, as they've already showed they have. And the P.J. Benitez 10-bell save, really the story of the second period.
Yeah, nothing to essentially worry about. Just shore a couple things up. Like I say, got to create more from inside the dots offensively. That's what's going to happen. And then, again, just a really good team. St. Anselm's on the power play there. That first one, almost a full 2 minutes. They're in the zone. The second one here, they have great possession, poise with the puck, make a play, puck caught frozen, post caught frozen, not actually moving to that play, picking a man up, and just kind of puck watching a little bit, and then that's what happens.
That's where we are through 2 periods of play. Here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, a late second period power play goal gives the Hawks a 2-1 lead, but 20 minutes more of hockey to go here, so stay with us on the Post University Sports Network. We'll come back in 2 minutes with a look around the NE10. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Jeff Nelson high atop here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Hawks, with a late second period goal, have a 2-1 lead over the Eagles. As we do in the second period intermission of all Post University home games, we'll go around the NE10 this afternoon. That's going to be brought to you by Post University, ranked as one of the top online colleges for 2025 and 2026 by Newsweek. Post is celebrating 25 years, a quarter century of empowering learners worldwide. So ask yourself, are you a Post person? Reach out today to see what Post can offer you. Online, hybrid, or on-campus options await. For more information on all Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do it today. Eagle fans, Weather's getting a little bit better. It might be getting a little bit warmer after this weekend's whatever that's going to be weather-wise. Spring break's right around the corner. What better way to show your support than with some post-university gear and apparel? Go to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then choose School Store on the left-hand side and shop till you drop for all the latest Eagle gear and apparel. Shop today and use code SAVE20 to receive 20% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code SAVE20, SAVE20. It will expire on Sunday, February 22nd. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. A little bit of housekeeping for you. The Eagles lose at LIU 3-2. Eagles got a late goal, but were unable to get the tire. So they're going to be locked into that 7 seed in the NEWHA playoffs. Opponent still to be determined. And at the Olympics in the semifinals, USA leads Slovakia 5-1 in the third period. That's USA 5, Slovakia 1. Winner of that game plays Canada on Sunday. Around the NE10 we go. We'll start with the NE10 Player of the Week. For Week 14, that's S.J. Lecomte out of St. Mike's. He's a sophomore forward out of Port Monmouth, New Jersey. He had 4 goals and finished +5 in a weekend sweep of Franklin Pierce. In the 9-3 win on Friday, he scored early and often with 2 goals, and then he scored 2 goals in game on Saturday for a total of 4 goals over the weekend. He is the NE10 Player of the Week. NE10 Goaltender of the Week, and in my opinion, the NE10 Goaltender of the Year, it's Ben Cunine, your post-university senior goaltender out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. He was 2-0, allowed only 2 goals in 3-1, 5-1 victories over Southern New Hampshire. He combined for 67 saves at the .971 save percentage and a 1.00 goals against average in a full 120 minutes of play. Ben Cunine, NE10 Goaltender of the Week for the second time this season. And then Rookie of the Week is A.J. Sacco, freshman forward out of Middleton, Massachusetts. He plays for St. Mike's. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in the weekend against Franklin Pierce, including the game-winning goal in each contest, as St. Mike's with 2 huge victories over the weekend against Franklin Pierce. Updated NE10 conference standings. Assumption is the regular season champion, so congratulations to them. Currently with 39 points, no matter what happens, they are the regular season champion. 13-3-2 in conference, 19-8-2 overall. They have 2 overtime wins as well. St. Mike's, 31 points, currently in second, 10-6-2 in conference, 1-0 in overtime, 15-10-3 overall. They have the tiebreaker over St. A's, who has the exact same conference record, 10-6-2, 1-0 in overtime, and 31 points. They're 11-12-4 overall, as you know. St. Mike's was 3-1 against St. A's this year, so they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. So St. A's will need to garner more points than St. Mike's if they want to get to the 2 seed. And the difference between the 2 and the 3 seed is if you're the 3 seed, you're playing on Tuesday in the first round of the playoffs. If you're the 2 seed, you have an automatic bye into the semifinals. Eagles at 22 points, 6-11-1 in conference, 0-3 in overtime. Those 3 overtime loss points big. That's why they're ahead of Franklin Pierce, 7-17-1 overall. They just need to equal the amount of points Franklin Pierce has this weekend or get more points this weekend to remain in the 4 seed. If it's tied or Franklin Pierce has more points, Franklin Pierce will be the 4 seed, and they will host Post on Tuesday. But Franklin Pierce has some work to do, and they've been struggling. They're 7-11-0 in conference. No overtime points, 9-18-0 overall, and they're playing Assumption this weekend now. We'll see what Assumption has to play for. They've already won the regular season championship, but they also won't be playing a game for a week, whereas the 3, 4, 5, and 6 teams have a game on Tuesday. And then wrapping up the bottom, who the guaranteed 6th seed will be, Southern New Hampshire, 14 points, 4-13-1 in conference, 1 overtime point, 8-15-1 overall. And obviously they've had interim coaches this season up at Southern New Hampshire, but they have a couple of good players. So we look to see them back again next season, but they are the 6th seed, so they'll play a game against the 3 seed, either St. Mike's or St. A's on Tuesday. Times for both of those games, because we don't know where those games are yet to be determined. If it's here, it'll be Tuesday, February 24th, to be clear to a couple people listening. It'll be Tuesday, February 24th, but time has not been determined as of yet because we don't know who's playing and we don't know where they're going to be here within the NE10. Don't forget also next year, last season, at least as expected, you never know why it happened in the offseason, but as expected, next season will be a 7-team NE10 as AIC has come down from Division 1 and they'll be back in the NE10 starting next season. So we'll see how that schedule plays out with teams and what the playoff structure will be. But 6 teams this year, 1 and 2 seeds will get byes. We know Assumption's the 1. We know Southern New Hampshire is the 6. Where 2, 3, 4, and 5 end up, we don't know. 4 and 5 are Franklin Pierce and Post. We just don't know who is going to be the 4 or who's going to be the 5. That's a look around the NE10 for a second intermission here on the regular season home finale for your Post University Eagles on the Post University Sports Network. We'll come back with 2 minutes with a recap of the second period, coach's thoughts, and get you set up for what will be a very intense and exciting third period here at the arena at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We're back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney here with you. U.S. now leads 6-1 late in the third period, so it looks like they're going to win the semifinal against Slovakia, and we'll play Canada on Sunday. That should be a exciting affair in most of North America, should I say. Probably watching that game on Sunday, U.S. and Canada, as it looks like the U.S. is going to wrap up their victory against Slovakia. Second period, well, Eagles trailed 1-0 to start, but got a goal midway through the second period by Parker Norling as he took a puck up on right wing, couldn't control it, and then somehow got it, gripped it, ripped it past a shocked P.J. Benitez at 11:06 for his 5th goal of the season. Give assist to Holden Beckett, who set up the play, and Aiden Kennedy, his team leading 16th point, and the Eagles had tied it at 1. Eagles then had a lot of pressure, got a late power play. Mateo Pekka took a shot that was stopped by Benitez and left a gaping net and a man with a stick. Shot was taken and Benitez somehow dove over and made an incredible highlight reel save to keep this game 1-1. And then shortly thereafter, a playing the puck with a stick, broken stick penalty on Baxter Kimball led the Hawks to their second power play. And Luke Leinert found Isaac Martins, the freshman out of Lake Barrington, Illinois, in the middle of the slot. And about 10 feet out, he put the puck past Ben Kunin at 19-17 on the power play to make it 2-1. Give Leinert 1 assist and Sean Connolly the second. And that's where we are, 2-1 after 2 shots on goal in the second period for St. A's 15, a 2-period total of 22 for the Hawks, for the Eagles rather, 13, a 2-period total of 23. So the Eagles out shooting them by 1. Face-offs, the Hawks have somehow gotten more dominant, 16-12. In the second period, 29-17 overall. This should be a very entertaining third period, I would think, Coach, as the second period was quite entertaining. The Eagles trail by 1 after the late goal. What do they need to do to come back yet again?
Well, I think they 2 things. One thing, again, broken record, right? Stay out of the box. Let's get that out of the way. Stay out of the box. Let's start finding a way to not necessarily win draws clean, but let's stop losing draws. Let's stop losing draws. Let's tie up. Let's maybe get our winger to come in and pick that up off the center. And then you've got to get scoring opportunities from in between the dots. Get off the wall, get some support, get pucks to the net from inside the dots. I'm looking for those things to shore up some victory, and moving forward, you're going to be successful. Right? Good teams know how to get inside and score goals. And Post is a good team. I mean, they've shown that in their last 6 games that they're a team that's been able to grow and become better as the season progresses, which is a wonderful sign. But at the end of the day, you got to get it done.
Eagles 4-1-1 in their last 6 games. Again, we've talked about the playoff scenarios and the positive playoff scenarios, i.e. winning your way into the spot that you're looking to get. But the Eagles, because they have a 1-point lead, can lose their way into those spots as well. Just easier to win your way in. That way you control your own destiny versus having to wait for somebody else to do it for you. Just give you the updated schedule, if I could find that page. Again, I have 500 pieces of paper here. Franklin Pierce will play Assumption at 7:30 tonight up in Worcester. St. Mike's will play Southern New Hampshire at 7:40. Tomorrow, St. Mike's and Southern New Hampshire at 2:40. The Eagles and St. A's at 4. Although the official schedule says that game is here, it is not. It is actually in New Hampshire. And then Franklin Pierce will play Assumption at 6:10 p.m. So the Eagles can't control their own destiny and know where they stand before Franklin Pierce completes their game. But you know somebody will have an eye on the post game up at Franklin Pierce to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun time about the playoffs, end of the season. All the anticipation.
Eagles going right to left as you look at your screen and dial St. A's, and going left to right. Face-off in the zone. One-time shot taken by Leinert, stopped by Kunin. As the Eagles need to find a way to tie this game, trailing 2-1. Puck deep inside the Eagles zone. Spinning with it is Collins, but a nice stick check by Glassrud, who's been noticeably good in this game. Puck rimmed around the wall. A couple of number 10s fighting for it. Pacheco trying to get Collins. Collins wins the race, but McMains does a nice job pinning him to the wall. Puck popped up in the air. That looked offsides, and it was, because it was gloved on the wrong side of the blue line by Hunter Hoffman. And that'll lead to the face-off outside the Eagles zone with 34 seconds gone in the third period. Again, this is the regular season home finale in the Post University Sports Network. If the game is at home for the Eagles and they are the 4 seed, it will be Tuesday, time to be determined. You'll need to check posteagles.com for more details. Kennedy ahead to Gazzardi. Gazzardi rims it around the wall. Swain in there forechecking on Martinetti. Santoro in there as well, but the Hawks come away with it and pop it out to center as Tremblay. Tremblay gives it on the stick of Connor Kelly. He'll send it in on a cross-ice dump. It Rieger there first. Rieger with a short little spin play, getting stick checked by Kelly up the ice. Gives it to Swain. Swain up on left wing, over the line, loses the puck as he sends it down. Gazzardi there trying to pick it up behind the net, but Swain did a good job to send it to Santoro in front, who just couldn't get enough of it, and Benitez makes the save. A minute 11 into the third.
Yeah, that's if you're watching at home, if you're a youth hockey player, pay attention to what a nice job posted on the breakout there with the defenseman cutting the net, we call it, right, getting close to the post, coming straight up. When the wall was covered and the open ice was there, moved his feet, cut the net, took the open ice. Good opportunity.
Howell tried to win it back, instead won it forward, but the Hawks trying to get it out. Pekka in there forechecking on the stick of Demarinis. Nearly got the turnover, but out the Hawks come up on the near side right wing. He chips it ahead nicely. Ahead now across the ice for 3 Hawks charging toward the net. The Eagles could have a break if they get the puck ahead, but Howell couldn't do it, and a good job by the Hawks to back check. As somehow 3 of them were charging toward the net. And then, I'm going to say offsides, I think, at the Hawk line. But Nolan Davis, the freshman out of Roswell, Georgia, came in and had a centering pass, and 3 Hawks were down below the dots. Fortunately for the Eagles, none of them really had control on the puck, and Norling tossed out of the draw.
Yeah, that's where as a player you have to be able defensively, you have to be able to read plays and anticipate and not just react. The game happens too fast for you to just be able to react to everything.
Connolly to Rogals and the puck gets dumped into the Eagle zone. O'Connell rimmed it around to Norling. Norling couldn't get it farther up the wall, tried to play it again, but a good forecheck by the Hawks as DeMarinis turned it over. Macau gets to the red line, tried to dump it in, fanned on his dump and said it will fight for it. Nice pickup by Schweitzer. Schweitzer closing in. Well, tried to go backhand, had it roll off his stick. Not sure if it was chopped off his stick or rolled, but there's a penalty behind the play, and that's probably why it went off his stick, because there's a slashing penalty at 2:07 to the Hawks, and that'll send the Eagles back to the man advantage.
But to his credit there, Schweitzer, that he did exactly what we were talking about earlier in the second period. Is he was supporting that puck carrier. That puck carrier was forced to the wall, which is not a great place to be, right? You can't really make many decisions off that. But he was able to move the puck, and Schweitzer was able to move to that area and recover it and get the puck to the net and draw a penalty.
Nolan Davis, 2 for slashing at 2:07. The Eagles, whose end of the power play was excellent, and that was on top of the P.J. Benitez phenomenal save. First part of the power play didn't look good, but those last 25 seconds were really good. Eagles will try to do better this time as Rieger gets to the red line. He'll dump it in on goal to Benitez, who can't control it. Goes behind the net. Kimball there first. Now Santoro goes back to Kennedy on left point. Kennedy with a lane, but gives it to Rieger. Rieger takes a return pass to Kennedy. Kennedy, long shot toward the net, blocked in front. Played by Howell, who'll give over to Santoro. Santoro looking back for Howell. Howell into the corner, now behind the net, rims it around to the far side, back to Kimball. Kimball to Kennedy. Kennedy waits, center point, now brings it over to the left point, feeds a chip pass to Rieger. Rieger holds, waits, looking for a lane, finds a lane, takes a shot, hits the post, he scores! It went in off the post, and the Eagles have tied it at 2:57. Owen Rieger does it again, his 7th goal of the season. The Eagles get a power play goal at 2:57. And just how the Hawks got a break at the end of the second, the Eagles get a break to start the third, and it's 2-2 on the Owen Rieger goal.
Yeah, that's just a well-placed shot. You're not going to – few goaltenders are going to stop a puck that's able to just be off that post and ricochet in.
I heard the post, didn't see the puck, but then it must have gone post and in. At 2:57, so Rieger's 7th from Kennedy, who'll get another assist. And we'll see who gets the official second assist at 2:57. So we're tied at 2 again. This should be a fun last 17 minutes. Here's Kennedy at the red line. He'll dump it in. Norling goes in after it on the near side corner. So right now, officially, Rieger from Kennedy only at 2:57. And it's 2-2. Kennedy is team high 17th point. For Rieger, he is tied for the team lead in goals with 7 with Jacob Howell. Kennedy and Rieger, as good of a D pair as you can have in the NE10, both offensively and defensively. And they do it again there at 2:57 to tie this game at 2 on the power play. Stolen away inside the zone here. Swain with a shot. He hit the post. It lay behind him. It goes in. He scores! Scotty Swain stole the puck as the Hawks tried to bring it out 15 feet out. He ripped the same shot that Rieger shot. It went off the post off the back of Benitez and into the net at 3:58. And the Eagles, a minute 1 apart, get 2 goals and now lead 3-2.
That's what happens when you attack and you dictate play. It was a great play.
3:58 the time, unassisted goal for Scotty Swain, his 5th of the season, on a major error by the Hawks as they tried to make a pass. It got turned over in the slot. Scotty Swain raced in to pick it up, took the shot off the same post that Owen Rieger did a minute earlier, and it went off the back of Benitez and into the goal, off the post and in. And the Eagles with 2 goals in a minute 1 have a 3-2 lead all of a sudden. Sometimes I wonder if I'm watching the same game. Sends it down the ice for an icing.
Someone else was around that puck. I don't know if he touched it
All right, well,
before it went across.
I guess we'll have to correct that. No icing as the puck's dumped into the Eagles zone. We'll get you updated on the official score in a second because I am totally wrong as to what happened. Now the Eagles turn it over in the shot with the shot toward the net. It bounces behind Kunin, but Pacheco there to find it and carry out the other side. Here's Howell. Gets to the red line, dump it in. Either way, the Eagles get the goal. They lead 3-2 with 2 goals in a minute one, but we'll gather all the points in a minute. Pekka toward the net with a shot that gets blocked in front. Played back to the point. Pacheco fakes, shoots it down low, picked up on a deflection in front and a wraparound played by Atkinson, stopped by Benitez. Pass up on right wing to Leinert. Leinert, cross-ice dump as he goes in. Kunin will make the save as it sort of just tricky bounced his way. With 5 minutes gone in the third, Eagles lead 3-2. Pacheco to Macau. He tried to go deep, hit off Schweitzer. Pacheco in his own zone. Across the ice to Glassford. Glassford will throw. Richards, who opened the scoring, into the wall. Hawks do a good job to keep it in, rimming around. DeMarinis looking for Davis. Went a little bit too far. Got it on the stick of Norling here right in front of us in the broadcast center. Played on the half wall. 4 players fighting for it. Kept in nicely, but a good block by Macau, and here's Norling. Norling carries it in over the line, opens the scoring for the Eagles, brings it in, goes to the backhand, looking for the corner. It lay there, and a quick whistle by the referee as that puck dropped right in front of Benitez with 6:10 gone in the third. Let's get you caught up on the goal. Joe Santoro's fourth, so take the goal off Scotty Swain's back. So Santoro's fourth from Swain and Schweitzer. Try to say that fast. At 3:58. Must have said Schweitzer tipped the puck into the slot off the defensive play. That's how he gets the second assist, and Santoro must have gotten a piece of it on the back end. So Santoro is fourth from Swain and Schweitzer at 3:58. We'll get it right up here eventually. Brings it in over the line. Nice drop pass as a centering pass came across as King and Kelly played catch with it. Almost got it re back, and now Kelly does a good job to try to steal it in that corner. Forechecking in there with Manning. 5 players in there. Santoro looks like he's going to go in. Thinks about it. Staring at it as the other 4 are fighting for it in the corner. Santoro keeps looking like he's going in there, and then he finally goes after King and takes the puck away. Nice job by Santoro. Guzzardi tried to get it up the wall, got chopped back behind the net. Now 3 Eagles there. Kennedy and Rieger there to help out, and now Scotty Swain comes away with it. Swain, nice pass to Guzzardi on right wing. He's got speed, closing in over the line with a shot right on. And swallowed whole by Benitez, who came out to the top of his crease to make that save with 7 minutes even gone in the third. Eagles lead 3-2.
Yeah, you can see that Post is in St. Anselm's head a little bit right now with kind of the after the whistle kind of antics, which like if you're Post, that's what you want. So worry about that instead of the game.
All started on a slashing penalty to the Hawks that led to the power play goal by Rieger, and then a terrible turnover caused by Caden Schweitzer by the Hawks inside their own zone, which led to Scotty Swain's shot and Joe Santoro's rebound. And that makes this game 3:50.
That was just a good play defensively by Post. Defense stepping up, a forward coming over, taking away time and space, made that puck carrier hesitate. That put your weak side winger offsides.
Face-off just outside the Eagle line. Brought back in, chopped out by O'Connell. And then out of play it goes.
This was highlight. That would have been good.
Can only play highlight in one place now, Coach.
Bridgeport doesn't have it anymore.
Not anymore.
Back in the day, they did.
So did Milford and Hartford.
Yep.
But only down at in Miami can you play and get those high cestas. Nice play by Collins in over the line. Nice pass to Liner with a shot. He missed the net terribly as he closed in with a nice opportunity from the bottom of the near circle. Murray gets it out to center looking for McMains. He'll rim it in as the Eagles chase after it. O'Connor spins away from the first check, feeds it up the half wall. That's exactly how he turned it over the first time. Taken down is McMains, no call, and here's Collins over the line. Drops it for Liner. Liner tried to take that drop pass. Instead, the Eagles come back 2-on-1. McMains and Howell. McMains over the line with space. Takes a shot. He scores! Bradley McMains faked the pass and took a wrist shot of his own from 25 feet out on a spinning play for McMains' second in 2 games and 4th of the season at 7:53. And the Eagles have a 3-goal third period. It's 4-2.
Yeah, that's where, again, you watched that St. Anselm's play. They could have got the puck to the net very easily. Overplayed it, tried to make a prettier play, if you will, turned the puck over. Defenders didn't read it to get good support. Puck's in the back of the net.
McMains is fourth from Howell, and we'll see if there's a second dime at 7:53. So the Eagles with 3 goals in a little under 5 minutes. Give an assist to Pacheco as well at 7:53, and the Eagles have a 2-goal lead for the first time in this game in back-to-back games where they score more than 3 goals. Actually, back-to-back, 3 games in a row they scored more than 3. Back-to-back where they scored more than 4. Shows that this team collectively has come together a little bit, plus the fact that they were trailing twice in this game and have been able to make the comeback, now leading 4-2 with 11 minutes to go in the third. Here come the Hawks over the line. Eagles looking for an offside. Is not going to get it. Shot rimmed around by Demarinis, played in by Connolly. Connolly up on the half wall to Richards. Richards checked by Rieger. Atkinson down there as well. Puck gets rimmed around to the near side. Zamboni door. Kennedy tries to chip it past Demarinis. Instead, he'll play it with a nice little pass to McCall. McCall looking for Pekka. Feeds it to Atkinson. Atkinson can't get it out. He turned it over, but back to help out is McCall. And Atkinson will get to the red line, dump it in, and everybody will go off on a line change. Good support. And the Eagles have stepped up that support really after the first 10 minutes of the first period. Back the other way come the Hawks. Fancy little move there by King. King tried to center it in front. It pops free in the slot with a shot through a maze of players. It was blocked. I don't think that ever got to Kunin. I think Connor McCall made it, and he's hurting right now, but he gets back up. McCall chasing after Kelly. Kelly centered in front off the back of an Eagle player and behind the net. Picked up on the other side, though, by the aggressive play of Tremblay. Tremblay taken out of the play, though, by Hope, and then the puck sent out to center. As McCall finally able to get off the ice as he was hurt, and I think he made the block on that big slap shot from about 35 feet out. 10 minutes to go in the third. Eagles with a 4-2 lead, a 3-goal third period so far. Stolen at center by Martinetti. Still a lot of hockey to go, folks. Stay with us. Santoro tried to carry it out, instead lost it. It was brought back in onside. Hope plays it right in front of us, looking for Swain. He finds Swain as the defense changes behind him. Here's Swain, 2-on-2. Swain over the line, looking for Santoro. Finds Santoro, in and he scores! Joe Santoro! As we talked about, Coach, before the game, looking to get paid off a little bit. Now he's got 2 goals in the period, and that's his 2nd of the game, 5th of the season at 10:09, and the Eagles have a 5-2 lead.
Just a really good play again. You talk about importance for each team, but we're happy for Post, obviously, getting in between the dots to make your plays. Harp on it, preach it, but there's the result.
Good job by Swain as well. Timeout, St. A's upcoming as the Eagles have blistered for 4 goals in 7 minutes and 12 seconds to take this from a 2-1 deficit to a 5-2 game for them, but still 9:51 to go in regulation time. And St. A's has a game tomorrow, and again, we talked about sort of the importance. The Eagles looking for a home game on Tuesday, but St. A's looking to avoid having to play in the 3-6 game on Tuesday against Southern New Hampshire. You want to avoid having to play as many games as you like once you get to the playoffs. So it's a big 10 minutes because these 2 teams are going to play again tomorrow, and St. A's knows that they need points. Although technically they can be eliminated tonight.
Right.
So eliminated from the 2 seed.
Yeah. So I mean, I think regardless, you want to win your games. You want to be a winner going into playoffs, regardless of if you're home, you're away, you have a bye, you don't have a bye. You want to win going into the playoffs to set that tone and that culture within your room.
And it doesn't matter from the St. A's perspective if they lose 8-2 or if they lose 5-2 or 5-4. A loss is still a loss at this point. So wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing their D pinch up in the next couple of minutes just to try to create anything they can.
Yeah, you're going to have to get at least one within the next 3-4 minutes here. At least.
Puck dumped into the Eagles zone. We'll give you the official scoring in just a moment, but the Eagles 4 goals in 7 minutes, 12 seconds. Have a 5-2 lead here in the third period. Puck in the zone. McMains, who has one of those goals, tried to forward it ahead and said it was more of a dump, and then almost a bad turnover. And it is turnover. Kimball in front with a shot stopped right on by Benitez as the Hawks again turn it over deep in their own zone, and Kimball broke in with a shot from about 15 feet out, but Benitez made that save. Benitez, for all that he did in the second period to keep it 1-1 and then eventually give the Hawks a lead because of his phenomenal stopping of the puck, has been hung out to dry a bit here in the third. So the fifth Eagle goal is Santoro's second of the game, fifth of the season from Swain, his second assist of the game, and Aiden Kennedy, his third point of the game, continues to lead his team in scoring, and the Eagles have a 5-2 lead. Santoro's fifth, Swain's fourth assist, and Kennedy's 15th assist of the season. 9 minutes to go in the third. Dangerous pass by Pekka, but the Eagles get it out of the zone. This might be an icing. Nope, they're going to wave that off. So no icing, as played in the far side corner is Martinetti. Martinetti feeds it up the middle as the Hawks are going to try to get something going. Here's Collins. Over the line, goes behind the net, looked to center, but couldn't get a stick on it. The Eagles do a good job of backing each other up. Atkinson rims it around and out to center. Nice job by Atkinson to back up Glassrud and Pacheco. Fancy move by Leinert. Carries it in on right wing, looking for an opportunity. Here's a shot taken from 15 feet out, but Leinert, I think, blocked the shot of his own D-man, Nolan King, and here come the Eagles the other way. Here's McCowell. Gets to the blue line, leaves it over the line. Shot taken right on. I can say offsides, though. And some pushing and shoving. Probably, again, a late whistle. Same thing that happened on this end with the St. A's player. More of a late whistle than anything else, although that one was a little bit more timing-wise than St. A's side. The faceoff will be outside the Hawk zone with 8:14 to go in the third. McCowell wins the draw. Beckett does a good job getting it back to the D, and Norling does a good job chipping it in. McCowell will go in on the forecheck. Richards behind his own net, plays it to his D-man, up the wall, tipped by Davis, right back to center, and sent right back in by the Eagles' Hope. And now Hope and the Mariners pushing and shoving a little bit as the puck goes out of play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're post at this point, you don't need any extracurriculars, especially since you're going to be playing again tomorrow night. You don't want to give your opponent anything to hold on to when you're winning and trying to kind of put a nail in it and send them back home. You know, you don't want to give them anything to think about, to talk about, that they can use in a positive way. Just play the game, make your plays, shake hands, get ready for the next one.
Hawks offside, so they'll have to tag up. That gives Kennedy an opportunity to carry it out, and he does. Gets to the blue line, has Swain with him, carries it in over the line, looking for Swain's stick, and it rolls off of it. Gazzardi picked it up on the far side. He'll try to rim it around. Gazzardi takes a big hit for his troubles. Again, these two teams are going to play tomorrow up in New Hampshire. Back the other way come the Hawks. In over the line, Tremblay. He'll turn it over to Kennedy. Kennedy looks for Kimball. Kimball tried to find the stick, but checked away from Martins. Martins, who scored the last Hawk goal. That gave him a 2-1 lead at the end of the second period. But the Eagles have scored 4 here in the third. Over the line, McMains leaves for Kimball. Takes a shot toward the net, off a stick, and into the netting behind P.J. Benitez. 7:06 remaining in the third. Coach 5-2. And the Eagles have tilted the ice heavily here in the third.
They have. And you know, at some point, St. Anselm's going to have to take some chances here. I hope Post can read that play, intercept some passes, and transition and take advantage of that.
Murray on the draw with Martins to the left of P.J. Benitez. Murray tries to go forward with it, couldn't control it, got chopped off his stick and then taken by Connolly. Connolly comes out from behind the net with a dangerous pass up the middle. They've done that a couple of times, and that's what led to the turnover. That led to the first goal by Santoro, and gave the Eagles a 3-2 lead. Maybe the Eagles have that scouted, but Glasser does a good job to step in front of a pass looking for Myers, and the Eagles will send it right back in. And the Eagles will be happy just to dump and chase for the next 6:40. Hawks are going to have to try to do something to get through this Eagles defense to get some offensive opportunities, because the Eagles will just be happy to dump and chase. Pacheco behind his own net as the Hawks dump it in. Glassrud comes to pick it up on the Zamboni wall. Nice stick check by Pekka, and here comes Howell out with it. Howell, 2-on-2, just happy to get to the red line, tried to dump it in, but Pekka came to help out and pick it up. Pekka comes down on left wing, tried to spindle it down even further. He gets it across the ice for Hope. Hope picks it up on right point, just dumps it down low. Backs up defensively, and here come the Hawks the other way. Martins over the line trying to play it. Birdie there, nice job by O'Connell to stick check it away, and here's Pekka. Pekka lost it. King played it in his own zone. Eagles will go for a line change or get some players off with 5:57 to go in the third. 5-2 Eagles. Here's Collins with some speed. Tried to feed it across and it's stolen by Norling. Norling with a shot blocked in front as the Eagles steal another one. Schweitzer goes back to O'Connell. O'Connell will get to the red line and gladly dump it in around the boards. The Eagles will forecheck away again. Schweitzer on the half wall, forechecking, steals it away. Schweitzer spins it toward the net in front, and Benitez makes another save. Schweitzer's had a couple of opportunities in this game, including that one right there, but Benitez makes another save with 5:30 to go in the third. Again, these two teams will play at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Franklin Pierce plays at 7:10 tonight against Assumption. Should the Eagles hold on and Franklin Pierce lose in regulation, the Eagles will have a 4 seed and a playoff game, only the second ever home playoff game here on Tuesday. Let's see about getting the students a bus down here or something. Here comes O'Connor, gets to the red line, dumps it down around the boards. Kennedy will go in to stop the forecheck of Richards, who opened the scoring a long, long time ago. Norling gets it, pops it free to center, played by Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets pushed down to the ice, no penalty there, none deserved. McCall tries to back it back to Schweitzer, and here come the Hawks the other way. In over the line is Richards. Richards with a shot toward the net that Kunin sticks away, and that's really the first shot Ben's seen or touched in the last few minutes, particularly since the Eagles had blitzed the 4 goals. Swain tries to get it up the wall, turns it over at the blue line. Nice job by McCall to back him up, and also good to see McCall back on the ice after blocking that shot and was in some obvious pain. And now here's Scotty Swain. Swain with 2 assists. Up on right wing, he's in over the line. Swain carries, holds, wait, shoots, and just missed the net. Santoro pinned to the wall with a heavy check. Now Gazzardi comes out the other side. Gazzardi turns, spins, fires, stopped by Benitez. Swain picks it up as the Eagles are all over the Hawks here. Glasser looking for a lane, shoots it toward the net. Found Swain, who got stick checked at the last minute as he had a gaping net. But somebody on the Hawks got a stick check on Scotty Swain as he had a wide open net. A nice defensive play there by the Hawks. Now they get it back into the Eagles' zone. Murray and Davis stick checking each other a little bit as the puck comes free to center with 4 minutes to go in the third. Eagles just don't want to do anything bad here at this point. Here's Pacheco. Pacheco carries it in over the line, makes a fancy move now, centers it to Kimball in front, but a good back check by the Hawks. McMains back to Murray. Murray with a shot toward the net, deflects off a stick, and now the Hawks will bring it out of their zone. Long cross-ice pass looking for the streaking Tremblay, but the Eagle defense is there. Now they'll push it forward. Eagles are ready to hunt right now. Pass given to Tremblay. He'll carry it in over the line. He gets along Glasser. Glasser gets into position. Centering pass through the crease. Doesn't even touch Ben as it goes all the way through from near to far. Tremblay behind the net tried to recenter, but Pacheco got a stick on it. Kimball tries to slash it up in the air, but a good keep in for the moment by Connolly. Connolly gives over to Martins. Martins tries to get it to his D person in Rogils. Rogils will dump it deep, but the Eagles doing a good job preventing a shot, but there's one right there. A nice centering pass by Martins and a stop by Kunin, his best save of the third period so far. Tremblay spinning away with it, tried to recenter with 3 minutes to go. Glassrud there first. Glassrud tries to get it out, but turns it over behind the net, and the Hawks still forechecking as they change D behind the play. Pacheco grabbed it, spun it around to the far side, kept in by Rogils. Rogils will send it toward the net. Kunin makes a save, leaves a rebound for Glassrud, needs to get off the ice, and he just sends it into the netting wisely after hitting the glass, which will allow everybody to go for a line change, and that's one the Eagle D needed, as they were pinned into their zone for the first time all period. But 2:49 left in the third. Looked, no, didn't. I thought they were pulling Benitez. They did not. 2:49 to go in the third. The Hawks have used their timeout. Face off deep inside the Eagles zone. The Eagles lead 5-2. Eagles take that face off to Atkinson. Up on right wing. He gets to the red line and dumps it in as well he should. Pekka chases after it. 4 checks on Martinetti. Atkinson back there as well, trying to come away with it, and Atkinson did. Comes back to the point to Hope. Hope goes right back down low, but turns it over. And then the Hawks get the center, and they turn it over back to O'Connell, who goes to Hope with 2:25 to go. Puck looking for Pekka. Instead bounces into the Hawks zone. Benitez will cover with 2:22 to go in regulation time, and the Eagles, with a 4-goal third period, lead 5-2.
Yeah, this period here, again, you got 2:22 left. Just good opportunity to set the tone for yourself for tomorrow as far as the way you're going to play the last 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Play that game in such a fashion that You're winning your battles. You're winning your individual races. Set yourself up for success for tomorrow as well.
Eagles perfectly comfortable leaving it in there. There's going to be, I believe, a high sticking penalty, or is that just touch with a high stick? I think it's touch with a high stick. 2:13 to go in the third. Face off to Benitez's right. Be interesting to see who starts in goal tomorrow for St. A's as well. As Benitez has done well, he's been hung out to dry a little bit here in the third period. But he kept this game 1-1 in the second period with a couple of phenomenal saves, including one you have to rewatch to see. And then the Hawks took a 2-1 lead late in the second period, but the Eagles have scored 4 here in the third, 2 in a minute 1, 4 in 7 minutes and 12 seconds to take a 5-2 lead. Schweitzer back to Hope. Hope tried the backhand pass, nearly turned it over, but again, the defense there to help out as O'Connell was there. Hawks dump it in. Benitez still in net. Hope picked it up behind the net, goes back to the point, though, and turned it over to King. King, time, rims it down around the wall. Swain there first. Swain tries to feed it up the wall, but a good job by the Hawks to keep it in is Cam Collins. Collins spins away with a shot toward the net. Goes wide of Kunin. Eagles do a good job back checking. Santoro goes high in the air. Glove down by Hoffman with a minute 19 to go in the third. And the Eagles are looking like they're going to get their win. Their third in a row. Their 5th in 7 games. And go 5-1-1 in the last 7. Peaking at the right time. Here's Swain. Over the line on right wing. Fake. Shoots. Blocked in front. Didn't get to Benitez. And back the other way come the Hawks. Trailing by 3 with a minute to go in regulation time. 5-2 Hawks. Eagles, rather. Kennedy picks it up. Time and space. Gets it out to center. Eagles just happy to get it out of their own zone and dump it down in the last 45. Good job by Gazzardi fighting at the red line. Instead, he'll carry it in. He'll chase after his own dump, rather. Picked it up in the near side corner. Checked by Nolan King. Now a 4-man scrum in the near side corner with 30 remaining in the third period. Kimball happy to just pin it right there on the wall. As the Eagle bench standing up, slamming their sticks on the boards. They know they played a heck of a third period. Maybe their best full period of the season with the 4 goals. 15 remain in regulation time. The Eagles are going to win this hockey game and now really have put the pressure on Franklin Pierce. If they do not win in regulation today, the Eagles will be the 4 seed. As time ticks down in the third, it's 5-4-3, 2-1. And that is the hockey game here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The Eagles winners of 3 in a row, 3 straight home games to wrap up the regular season home portion of the schedule. 5 in the last 7. They're 5-1-1 in their last 7. They moved to 25 points in the NE10. 7-11-1 overall in the conference with 3 overtime losses and 8-17-1 overall for St. A's. They remain at 35 points. They go to 10-7-2 in conference with 1 overtime win and now fall to 11-13-4 on the season. Coach, an excellent, excellent third period, which we'll recap momentarily, but the Eagles have done it today with a big 4-goal third period, and now they have all the momentum on their side, and if they lost tonight by Franklin Pierce, they will be the 4 seed, and we'll have hockey here on Tuesday night. Coach, your 3 stars of the game.
Yeah, Jeff, off the air before the game, you and I spoke about the importance of seniors stepping up and playing well at this part of the season, and Joe Santoro did exactly that. He's my first star with the 3rd and 5th goal, and my second star with setting up those goals and just getting some grade A opportunities himself, Scotty Swain. And my 3rd star, in general, the post defense played very solid, had a power play goal from Rieger, but the guy that just continues to play with poise and kind of lead the way with the defensive core is Aiden Kennedy, and he gets my 3rd star.
3 stars.
And of course, Ben would be remiss not to mention Ben, who
can always mention Ben.
Always gives his team an opportunity to win.
But you know something, and we can joke about it later, he gave up 2 goals today.
He's slipping, huh?
And they still won.
Yeah, imagine that.
Which a week ago was unheard of.
Right.
Now he's given up 1, 1, and 2, and they've won all 3 games after going 5 wins and 5 shutouts. So
yeah, you never know.
It says something about your team when you start winning games and your goaltender doesn't have to stand on his head and shut out. So, and
yes, you want your goaltender to be good and you win, but not have to be good for you to win, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And the Eagles, and we talked about it pregame as well, Coach. Again, another solid 21-man effort. Every player on the ice contributed. Every player on the ice, 19th man had an assist. Every player on the ice contributed today again, and that's been the story of the last 7.
Yeah, I mean, the key to winning and just being successful is winning your battles, your individual spots on the ice, right? Because there's a lot of opportunities out there when you have the puck, but when you don't have the puck, little things, taking away passing lanes, being on the D side of the puck when it's appropriate, jumping into open space and making yourself available. They use the term a lot. You see it a lot in youth hockey is you'll hear players or coaches too screaming, get open, get open. To me, that's when you're a wide receiver and you get behind the guy, you're open because I can throw the ball over your head. Getting behind somebody and you're quote-unquote open does not mean you're available for a pass. Get into those open places on the ice where I can get you a puck, where we can make a play. Those are the types of things you're starting to see Post do more and more consistently. And when each player is taking care of all those little things on the checklist, you're going to get the results that you got tonight.
Other thing, coaches, we use the word resiliency, and, at times this team has gone down a goal, gone down to 2 goals, and, you hope they got one to go by, and they never did, and you sort of knew in the back of the head that it was going to be a struggle to get there. Here they go down 1 goal twice. They fought back both times to tie the game and then ultimately take the lead. It says a lot about whatever changes have gone on, and in the interviews that we've had, they all talked about sort of a mentality change in this 7-game run. And it seems like, again, they got punched in the mouth a little bit, came back and tied it. They got punched in the mouth, and again, they got highway robbed at the end of the second period on a phenomenal save. They start the third period, bam, 2 goals in a minute 1.
Yeah, trusting the process. And then some adjustments that the coaching staff has made. That you put those two together, and that's a recipe for success. I mean, I think Post is on the rise right now, so I think anything is possible moving forward.
Recap of the third period before we get into the scenarios. We're waiting on hopefully Joe Santoro and hopefully Aiden Kennedy for our post-game interview. But the Eagles trailed 2-1 as they started the third period. And lo and behold, they got a power play off a slash by St. A's, and Owen Rieger did it again. Shot off the near side post and behind P.J. Benitez, and that gave the Eagles clearly the momentum they were looking for. That was at 2:57. Aiden Kennedy, his second assist of the game. A minute 1 later, a steal by Schweitzer as he chopped it off the stick of the St. A's defenseman. Gave it to Scotty Swain all alone in the slot as he found that loose puck. Shot it off the post, and I guess Joe Santoro got a stick on it to put it behind Benitez. A minute 1 later, 3:58 for Santoro, his 4th of the year. Gives Swain and Schweitzer the assist at 3:58. Then, the Eagles slowed down a little bit. It took them 3 minutes and 55 seconds to get the next one as a beautiful play on a rush up the ice as Pacheco swiped at the Howe, who gave it to McMains on a 2-on-2. They crisscrossed. McMains faked the pass and ripped a wrist shot between the circles past Benitez to give the Eagles a 4-2 lead. That was at 7:53 for McMains, his 4th of the year, 2nd in 2 games. And then 2 minutes and 16 seconds later, Santoro gets his 2nd of the game, 5th of the season from Swain and Kennedy as Swain came up on left wing on a 2-on-2. And again, just a hustle play by Santoro as he broke in all alone on a nice pass by Scotty Swain, and that was goal number 5, his 5th of the season. The Eagles led 5-2. Shots on goal in the third for Post 13, a 3-period total of 39 for the Hawks, and this tells the story for a 3-period total of 26.
Yeah.
So not only did they get 4 goals, but they totally shut them down.
Yeah, and we always talk the importance of winning a third period, and that's what Post is able to do right now. And again, as you approach the final game of the season, head towards the playoffs, the ability to go in with some measure of momentum, and more importantly, is a measure of confidence, knowing that, hey, you know what, we're over that as interesting, fun, scary, I guess, in some ways, as it was of only winning games when there was a shutout. Now you've gotten past that, and you're saying we can score goals as a team. And we got a great goaltender, so that's a recipe for success.
Talk about the other side for 1 second, because I'm kind of curious. You've been on this side. So you're Franklin Pierce, and you're monitoring this game because you know the importance of it. They're down 2-1 to start the third period, and you're probably really amped up thinking St. A's is the better team. They're going to win this game. And the Eagles pop 4 and 7-12 to take a 5-2 lead. You're playing the game in an hour. What's your momentum? What's your feeling like if you're in the Franklin Pierce dressing room? Knowing you got to win, you still have a chance, but somewhat deflated in the fact that you kind of thought Post was going to lose, and then everything sort of turned the other way.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to play your game. You can't worry about what your opponent does. I mean, the talk in the room from your staff, I'm sure, is we still control our own destiny. We control our own destiny. We win 2, we got a great chance of hosting the game. Regardless of that fact, we're getting mentally prepared. We know no matter what, we're playing Post. We know that. Post has had some success up there. They've had some success down here. So as far as a home ice advantage, if we can get fans to come and support, depending on, I don't know what time the game would be, but if we can get that happening, if we can get our minds around something good, then we'll be in a nice spot to take advantage of that. But as far as what Franklin Pierce is saying, and that, like, you don't want your players sitting there saying, "Oh gosh, they won. What are we going to do?" We don't want that. We don't want that at all. We want a mindset of we got to take care of business and win the games, because you know what? It's fun to win. So that's why we want to win. Everything else will take care of itself. We're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs.
And the Eagles have having some fun lately as they're 5-1-1. We're going to get Joe Santoro up here first as he's climbing the wall of doom. We're going to move this just a little bit because I'm running out of slack here.
How's it going, Coach?
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
Give yourself some slides, will you?
Yeah, I know I have to, huh? It's all right.
We'll borrow some slides from somebody. That's what usually somebody does around here.
I should, yeah.
All right, we'll just wait for them to get set up, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Just step a little bit this
Gotcha,
way.
yeah.
All right, we'll do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eagles with a big 5-2 win today. Joe Santoro, our first star up here. Joe, we were talking, Coach and I, before the game. You've been playing an excellent set of, call it the last 7, this 5-1-1 stretch, but you haven't been getting the goals in the 7-game stretch. But here you are today with 2 big goals. Talk to me about the first one. Great play by Schweitzer to get it to Swain, and then you found a loose puck there.
Yeah, that was just classic, like what happens when you stop on pucks. We cause a turnover on the forecheck. Scotty does a great job stopping on a puck. He unfortunately hits the post, and then I just picked up the loose change.
Talk to me about the second one. Swain makes a better play this time with a beautiful pass to you. You cruise in and get it by him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they had a little bit of a defensive breakdown, a little miscommunication, but Scotty made an unbelievable pass, and yeah, I just had the goalie slide in pretty far to the right side, so I just tucked it to the backhand and beat him on that left side.
Talk to me about this 7-game stretch. Again, 5-1-1. You, as we just mentioned, have been very noticeable, even though you haven't been putting the pucks in net. You're winning faceoffs. You're back-checking defensively. What's been the change in the mentality over the last 7?
Yeah, I think it's just committing to doing the little things and playing the game the right way. Like, when we play our game, like you said, like the last 7 games or so, like we're a noticeably different team, and I mean that's just what it takes to be successful. Sometimes it's not pretty, but that's what it takes.
You guys control your own destiny. Now a 4-point lead over Franklin Pierce. They have a game tonight. Could be all over for the 4 seed before you go to bed tonight, or you could have a very important game tomorrow.
Right.
Either way, how do you look at that game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we want to keep this momentum rolling into playoffs no matter what. I mean, obviously we want to have the home ice. That'll be big for us, I think. We play better at home, I think. But, yeah, no matter what happens, we're going to be ready, and we just want to keep this momentum rolling into playoffs.
Talk to me about Swain and Gazzardi, your line mates. You guys have been playing together a lot this season. You guys seem to get better as the season have gone along. Is it just the cohesiveness of you guys, or is it the comfortability? You guys know where you're going to be now. What is it with you guys collectively?
I think whenever you stick with a line for a little while, like as time goes on, you just build more and more chemistry, and I think that's what you're seeing now. Scotty had a little bit of an injury, was out for a few weeks, and last weekend we got back together and thought we played well, but couldn't find the back of the net, and it was just kind of finding that timing, that chemistry back. And tonight, I mean, especially in the third period, I think we found it again. So, yeah, it was great. It's a lot of fun playing with those two.
Joe Santoro, our first star, 2 goals in the game-winning goal, 4-5 on the season. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, the Eagles will take on St. A's in the rematch up there. Joe, congratulations. Hopefully we'll see you here at home on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Take that. Hopefully Aiden's coming over too. I don't know if he's done. Okay. Oh, perfect. You got to climb down first.
We'll see you, Coach. Good job. Good job. Thank you.
The ladder was not my choice, just to be clear. There you go. And you got the slides, unlike Santoro over there. Aiden Kennedy, our third star of the game today, a couple of assists. And we tried to get you up here on Saturday, but time did not allow it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, congratulations on the game today. Talk to me about your team today.
Yeah, I thought we're building momentum here, especially going into the later parts of the year. And it's a great time to get rolling now, right? Going right in the playoffs. Towards the beginning of February, going into March. We want to play in March, so I thought our intensity was a little slow at the start, but we ended up picking it up towards the second half of the game, and I mean we came out with half our goals so far, 3 out of 6 points. So we just turn the page now and look forward to tomorrow. So
5-1-1 over the last 7 games for you guys. You've completely turned the page in these last 7. Talk to me about, Coach and I talk about it all the time. It's really been a full team effort in these last, top to bottom, number 1 guy down to number 21 guy. Everybody's been rolling the same boat. What's changed in the last 7?
I think just realizing just we needed to switch something up after the first half of the year. I think we got into a little rough patch. We ended up we had to change something, and we looked in the mirror. We started to play with identity, play with purpose, and realizing that we got 12 seniors on our team, and we want to play for them. This is their one last ride here, and we just changed our identity, just making sure we compete all 60 minutes here, finish hits, get pucks in deep behind, use our feet, which we believe our speed is really important for our team, and I think just utilizing that by getting pucks in behind their D and just going to work, and then using our skill coming out of that forecheck, we've learned that it causes a lot of success. So we just kind of focused on that, and just keep building on the positivity and the good energy, and just keep building game after game. So
talk to me about your D partner, Owen Rieger. It gets the goal to start the 4-goal onslaught in the third, the power play goal. You guys are never slated to play together on the sheet, but you guys always end up playing together 50, 55 minutes. So talk to me about what you two guys have done together as a team, because you're leading the team, both of you, in points.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, but yeah, he's great. I mean, it's fun playing with a player like that when you can throw it over D to D and just trust that he can use his skill and use his his poise and ability to just make a move or make a good smart decision. And the more and more we play together, I think the more we just get comfortable with each other. It's been a year and a half now of playing with each other, and it's just we just keep getting better and better, and it's pretty easy getting assists when you just throw it over to him and he does all the the work dangling and sniping from the blue line. So I think it's a blast to play with him.
Yeah, he made a nice little pass. He did a lot of the work on that
Yeah.
goal, to be fair.
Yeah.
Lastly, talk about your goalie, who for the early part of the season stood on his head. At times still stands on his head, but we joke up here, first 5 wins were 5 shutouts, and now he's given up 4 goals, and you guys still have won 3 games. So either Ben's slipping or you guys are getting a lot better as a team overall.
Yeah, no, I don't think Ben's slipping at
No,
all.
I'm just kidding.
No. To your point, yeah, like we're definitely. I know it was a point where we all knew that we had like 5 wins with like we didn't allow any goals, and we knew that wasn't sustainable. We needed to be better as a team in front of Ben, and we know when Ben's in net, we trust him. Like we're full confident in him, and it's just like when he's in net, we know. We got to pick it up for him because he's always there. He's always giving his effort. He's always stopping pucks for us. And, yeah, it's just it's great having him behind us. And, yeah, I think we just need to keep building and playing this well in front of him.
Aiden Kennedy, 2 assists, our 3rd star of the game. Eagles big 5-2 win, now have 26 points in the NE10. We will find out later today if they've clinched the 4 seed, or we might have to find out tomorrow if they clinch the 4 seed. Should they have the 4 seed, we'll all be back on Tuesday, time to be determined for the 4-5 playoff game in the NE10. For Coach Whitney, Aiden Kennedy, everybody who helps out, I'm Jeff Nelson. Thank you very much. We'll see you hopefully on Tuesday for the 4-5 playoff game. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Keep it up.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Take care, buddy. Good job. Thank you. Good job cutting that today.